Hello, everyone. Hello, and welcome to the Dark Things We Do, the last episode of the Halloween month. We are super excited for some fun spoopiness before Halloween. So yeah, let's just get into it. We'll do quick introductions, and we'll go from there. Starting, of course, with Mr. Michael Powell. Tell him who you are, who you're playing, and what your pronouns are.
Well, as always, I am the dastardly, dashing Michael Powell, and this time I'm playing Caesar the Impressive, Sprite Nitera Thaumaturge.
Yup, getting some
I
of
hope I
that
pronounced that right.
Yeah. Oh, and for those who may be a little confused, the Dark Things We Do is basically our little version of what we do in the shadows, but set in the Edge of Legend universe. So everyone here is going to be a fun, maybe a little dumb vampire, but hey, you know what? It's the last week of Halloween. Let's have some fun. That being said, Sam, let us know who you are, who you're playing, and what your pronouns are. Almost got
hello. I'm Sam Sterling, and today I am playing Julia Hugelgrace. I'm a non-barbarian, and I don't know, it's very hard being undead. That's all I have to say.
That's right. And Ian, please tell us who you are, who you're playing, and what your pronouns are.
My name is Ian. I am playing a human sorcerer who goes by the name of Roderick Emmerich III. And our collective pronouns are he, him. That was it.
Nice. Last and certainly not least, Makai, please let us know who you are, who you're playing, and what your pronouns are.
Hello, my name is Makai. I am your local favorite boy, boy with an I. My pronouns are he, him, and I'm playing Grimlat Threepwood, our local halfling alchemist, and our player pronouns are they, it, and it is a pleasure to meet you.
Lovely. And I love that those in the chat are already a big fan of the Threepwood family name. But yes, so this is going to be our version of what we do in the shadows, the Dark Things We Do, set in the Edge of Legend universe. We're going to go over a bit of setting and maybe a little bit of information, and then we're going to go from there. So to set the scene, there's a crisp autumn air moving through Adolphon Prime as the army of Korokos is starting to advance upon the Adolphon continent. And as the news of the war is about to break and perhaps even overrun everything somewhere in Adolphon Prime, there's a lovely little holiday being celebrated. People are flocking through the streets, buying things, setting up parties, having celebrations all over. And somewhere there is a large two-story mansion. Inside this two-story mansion, we see a few of the undead slowly come to life. As all around us, we are preyed upon. We are looked at through the shadows. More importantly, some are just trying to live with their housemates in the middle of Adolphon Prime. Now, while you are all vampires, you have just woken up, you are all enfeebled and stupefied. You have a horrible negative to all your stats. In order to get rid of this negative, you are going to have to feed on humans, which this city is full of. If you want to use your vampire powers, these are focus points. You can use one focus point to use one of your vampire powers, as we discussed earlier. If you want to refocus and get that vampire point back, again, you're going to have to feed on someone. Throughout the night, you will have to force yourself to feed and hunt and eat, or else you'll be weakened and without your really cool powers. Does that make sense? Cool.
Sounds
all right.
good.
Everything else is all you. And you wake up at the excited and sharp knock of the housemate who is summoning you all for a house meeting.
Wake up, wake up. Everybody come on down to the library. You just hear rapping on the door, and then somewhere down the hall, you hear just this loud bell getting rung. As a clang, clang, clang. Library now! Now! It's a house meeting.
You see Yulia arise from a small coffin. She is a gnome. She has very blunt, severe bangs, such as and she just yells, "Why the bell?
It's tradition. Yulia, get up. Get up. Clang, clang, clang.
and she'll go downstairs.
You see Grimlot come out of what you would assume to be a closet. Just, is the bell really necessary? I'm with you on this one.
What's with you? Tradition is everything. Just clang, clang, clang as he's walking down the hall.
Lumbering through the hallway, you see this giant capybara. It's, when I say giant, it's about the size of a fully grown adult human, but then wearing a wearing a little bow tie, and then climbing from behind him, you just see a little bat sprite wearing chainmail lederhosen and what seems to be a fanny pack, and his face is done up in like a scary mime makeup.
What? Yeah. It's too early. What's going on?
Roderick, you see him and he turns at the end of the hall holding this big bell in one hand, and in the other he's in very would be old English gentleman posh clothing with a big big handlebar mutton chop like combo mustache. And next to you, we have things to go over. These meetings are important for all of us, and this house needs to abide by them. Now meet me in the library. And he walks off down the hall.
Oh my god, I love it. So assuming you're all reconvening into the library, you get there and you find a familiar form, this kind of sprightly thin man who has a feather duster and a little broom, and he's dusting and he's moving it into, a little pan, and he's moving all of the dust meticulously from each book into the pan, so like shuffling over, dumping it in the trash, going back and doing this. He looks at you with a kind of apple red face, and he goes, "Hello," and he runs around and he goes, "It's so good to see you here. I am so excited. Oh, I always love it every time you wake up." And he's just taking care of everything in the library.
Should we should we go to another room? It was a roommate meeting, really, not and I don't know if we need him here. Who else has summoned him here?
It is a lot of energy for me. I don't think I can match that energy right now.
I simply push past him, intentionally stuffing the whatever he has just cleaned, and kick my feet up onto the table. Are we going to get on with this meeting or what?
The faithful familiar and servant to your household, merely once you put your feet up, starts brushing around your feet and gives you a pillow and puts your feet on it and starts massaging your feet.
You're removing all of the good dirt from my boots. What is wrong with you?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I wasn't trying to be rude. I was just trying to make sure you were. Does Master need water on the forehead? A nice lovely kiss? No?
Minion, fetch me. Oh, positive. It feels like an O positive day.
Oh, well, I'll see if we have O positive. Last time we had that, y'all got a little silly. We may only have A plus. I hope that's okay. We've run a little dry in the.
No, not A plus. A plus gets me gassy.
I think I'm feeling negative today. Let me know if you find any of it.
Okay, and he just scuttles off like a little crab. Also, this accent's all over the place. YOLO. So you recognize your familiar and servant Jeremy as he scuttles off to get you an A positive and something in the negative range of blood. But the library is yours.
As soon as the door shuts, Roderick just leaves out the big sigh. I hope to God he doesn't find that quickly. Okay, continuing. Yes, and he pulls out this big piece of paper and flashes it in front of him. We have a few things to go over. First, someone is eating leftover people from the Eat for Later pile without checking in on the request to feed calendar.
My defense, it shouldn't be called the left or eat for later pile if I can't eat it for later.
That's the problem. Yes, it is. If it is not taken out and they aren't looked over, then we have no idea who's left, and then we get caught with maybe negative something, or now this A positive looking to turn our house into a gas chamber.
Hey,
Now-
don't look at Seiza. Seiza always remembers to brand his food.
Well, what I really want to know is when you are putting new ones in there, are you like putting them in the back because you want to make sure you do last out first? So you're grabbing from the oldest when you go in to get is everyone keeping to the system? Because I'm pretty sure I had a very old one in there the other day, Twisted Musty, and I don't think it was just because she was old lady.
Did
Oh, that
you
was just
brand her?
I was saving her in like a wine sort of experiment. See if they get finer with wine or like ages, like a cheese.
Just make sure you brand them.
Second, whoever is not picking up after feedings, there is far too much blood on the hardwood floors and rugs. Is it really hard? It's really hard to get out of the rug, so please use the disposable tarps.
Who is not using the tarp?
I'm going to put it on Jeremy. Okay. To whoever borrowed the mummified dragon's claw wand, please return it.
Hey, that's my bad. That's my bad. I was just checking, just making sure it was working.
We need a system for everything at this point. If we're going to go around just picking anybody out of the cellar that we need, or any wand up in this house, we have no idea how they're going to be used or who by.
Like Caesar says, you brand them. You put your name on it on a hot poker, heat it up, and brand them.
I feel like there's a lot of work and a lot of things we need to go into, but we really need to focus in on hopefully getting one system in place. I think
Maybe.
Yulia has her own thing.
Well, instead of branding, because that takes a lot of, heating and iron on the fire, and sometimes it's hot out. What about if we get a label maker, right? Yeah.
I can label maker, yes.
Can we all chip in for that? Because I don't want to pay for it myself.
Well, that actually brings up my next point. We do have to be careful with our gold. The lord that rules over this land, they request a tribute of 2,500 gold pieces, or else we may face banishment from the realm of Cold Day Suck.
Can we not just tell them we paid but not pay?
I feel like I may have scrambled him a little bit last time. I was trying to do the mind thing, and I got distracted somewhere in between telling him that we paid rent and that I wanted rent from him because I thought, why not make it a transaction? Does he owe me money?
I mean, worst comes to worst, we just, do what we do in the old days, threaten them with a curse.
Or, and hear me out, we eat him.
Oh, that's a terrible idea, because if we eat them, we just got to deal with the next asshole that comes along.
We'll
And
eat
that
the next
one will
asshole.
be easier to scramble because he'll have a fresh mind. I see no problem with my logic here.
I want to know who assumes the responsibility after eating said lord of this land. Who will now be the next lord?
That's a them problem.
It's technically an assassination.
I'm with Yulia.
So, the other thing we have is the conqueror of all homes is coming by to go over their orders for our front lawn, so they will pass the association's bylaws. I'll be honest, I don't go out much. I have no idea what they mean.
Whose bright idea was it to move into a homeowners association? It's always a terrible idea.
Last time it was the color of the mailbox, the height of the lawn. Do you think I go out to mow the lawn? No. What is it going to be next?
Well, I
the-
tried to
the
fix
wor-
the lawn once, but nobody likes the lawnmower going off at 11 o'clock at night.
I mean, the worst part was when we started, burying the bodies up front.
The mounds, they were distasteful to them. They said that we should put petunias there. I don't know how well petunias grow over mounds of corpses. Apparently not well.
Well, we started off well. It was in close to this time, the Festival of the Dead and such, where the mounds did start showing up. We got away with it for a little while.
Yeah, we
But-
told them they were like, anthills.
Yes. But the last thing is a little hard to read. I feel if we're not using these disposable tarps, then maybe the paper in the house is not something to use. There's something about an inspector coming by today. Should be here between 8 p.m. and 11.
Oh,
Oh,
delivery.
perfect. You want the takeout?
Is that what it is? Are you guys ordering takeout again?
Wasn't me?
Maybe.
It wasn't me.
Is this another Jeremy problem?
It might
Yes,
sound
let's
like
blame
a
on
Jeremy
Jeremy.
Yes,
problem.
okay.
Blame it on Jeremy.
That being said, if he's not coming back with that blood soon, I'm quite
Going to eat him?
famished. Well, we've already worked so much on him. I don't know if we need to. Which one of you would pick our next familiar?
You know how much work it takes to get another Jeremy? I mean, I know there's so many Jeremys in this land, but that one,
That one, he's a real Jeremy, you know?
and listen, he sweeps the floor exactly the way I like it, where you leave the little dust piles just right behind the door so you can like pick through it later. It's a nice treat.
See, this is why we need to get something like this good old Stuart here, Stuart the Amusing, and he kind of pets his capybara, who's just kind of just sitting there looking all bored in his little bow tie.
About this time, you hear a knocking at the front door. It's pretty loud, and after the knocking continues, you hear Jeremy ringing the bell that there's someone at the door, but it's not this horrible cacophony. You have this loud banging, and Jeremy's going, hello, hello, with the bell just clang, 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 clamoring off in the house.
Answer the door! Don't just answer the door!
The bell is tradition.
The bell just keeps ringing and clamoring as Jeremy just keeps saying there's someone at the door for you, and it's just the knock, knock, knock doesn't seem to stop.
Who's going?
Rochambeau.
I don't know what that means. Oh, okay. Spear, headless man, rope. What was it? What did you get?
Grimlock just straight up
Oh.
points at you, points at one of you. One of you get that. I got it the last time.
All right, I'll go, and I'll go leave the room and head to the door.
All right. Once you get to the door, you can see Jeremy is on the second level doing some tidying up, and the bell is just ringing as he's just brushing dust off every little inch of the house.
Jeremy,
Door. Oh, hello.
is it the door or is it you?
I don't know, but there is someone at the door. I will go do the cleaning in the other part of the house. Bye-bye. And he just scuttles off like a crab to go do more cleaning.
I will go to the door and I will open it like this much and stick my face. Hello.
All right. Give me a you know what? Actually, I'm gonna do a check against your fortitude save. All right, yeah. What's your fortitude save?
Let me see. Fortitude.
That's right.
This
I rolled
plus 20.
Okay, yeah, I rolled really bad. So, as you open the door a little bit, this tiny hand shoots in and grabs the inside of the door and tries to open it up. It only gets it like an inch or two bigger because the hand's kind of in the way. But you see the painfully fake smile of this woman who's got like long hair, like long golden hair with lots of like rolls, not the rolls in the hair, but they've definitely like curled. They're wearing a really nice dress. They're definitely very, very fancy lady. And they just go, hi, how's it going? Listen, I was coming over about your all's front lawn, about kind of the situation of it.
What's the situation?
Well, the situation is it's not up to the bylaws and the codes.
Whose codes?
The association of the homeowners of the cul-de-sac. It is a might dreadful.
And
out here.
who is the emperor of this association?
Oh, well, I don't know about the emperor, but if you're looking for, I guess, the president, it would be me. My name is Kimberly Sherrill, and this is a sight. This is an absolute sight.
You You, Kimberly,
Uh,
are the
ye-
president of
yes,
this neighborhood organization.
voted in last year. Yes, I am.
Is it delivery? Well, it screeched from the
Now!
other room.
she'll yell.
Can it be?
Maybe. Kimberly, welcome to our home. Would you like to come in?
Yeah, I don't mind poking my nose in and looking around, but really, I just want to make sure that the front yard and your trees, well, the trees are a sight. We need to trim those. There are some unusual things that have been cut into those trees, and I just would like to take a minute to talk to you about all that.
Okay, Kimberly, you want me to trim my trees? All right. Well, come inside. We will make you a snack.
Well, you know what? I'll join you for that snack, but I'll just be a moment. I just want to make sure that your front lawn is up to code.
You want to go look at it with your eyes? Is that what you're telling me?
Hey, well, I tell you what, let's go inside and let's talk about some of the bylaws and of course the repercussions if you don't follow the homeowners association bylaws.
Yes, let's do that first. Come inside. Come inside.
Well, I'd love to. So Kimberly Sherrill, the president of the homeowners association, or as she was referred to earlier as the conqueror of all homes, demanding orders of the front lawn to pass the association's bylaws, comes in. And for those of you that just came from the raid, thank you so much for raiding. The dark things we do is basically our little parody or twist or spin, if you will, on what we do in the shadows, but centered in our world of Edge of Legend. So if you like Dumb Vampires and What We Do in the Shadows and D&D, welcome to the show. That being said, Pathfinder 2nd edition. That being said, so Kimberly Sherrill comes in and she immediately notes if you will describe for me how macabre and eclectic and interesting your home is.
Who would someone else like to take that?
Well, I wouldn't be taking her to the library. That's no place to meet a guest. So the drawing room it is. So room off to the side that the two guests that they can be brought in. I feel that it's very much a undusted Rococo period type of room, except all of the figurines that normally would be cherubs or anything are the long drawn faces of people howling in pain or something along those lines, with the wings, the angel wings replaced with that of a bat. Dark wood walls. They once didn't have such a dark redwood tinge to them, but they do now. And anything else would be that dark hunter's green kind of paint, but peeling and breaking off the edges of the walls.
Can I also add that if there's any like writing implements or anything like tools or anything, there's also a same exact copy, but in a teeny tiny version next to it.
Nice. Obviously for the bat-like sprite. So Kimberly Sherrill follows you, Yulia. I'm going to butcher this. Yulia Huddlegris into the drawing room. If you would like to take him to the drawing room.
Yes, we have a guest.
Oh, dear God, here already.
Ugh.
She recoils at the screaming. She's, oh my, oh, your communication skills are quite verbose.
Thank you. And we'll enter the drawing room. I definitely am shrill enough for everyone to have heard me throughout the entire house. So I will expect you are all making your way there. And I'll sit her down on like a particularly dirty velvet chair.
She thanks you and then takes in the room for a second. Oh, thank you. Oh my. Oh, your decorating taste is
Immaculate.
bold.
We know. You're welcome.
Oh my. Hi there. Yeah, it's a bold choice. What's your name again?
You wouldn't like to know. It is a pleasure, I'm sure.
Well, hi, my name is Kimberly Sherrill. I'm the president of the Homeowners Association for the cul-de-sac.
Yes, the conqueror of homes. The pleasure is ours.
Well, I voted president last year. Yep, pleasure to be here. Well, why are all their faces screaming in mortal terror and pain?
It's art, Kimberly.
and aesthetics. And you see the lumbering capybara lumber into the room, and then you see the little head of the bat sprite just poke from the back.
Oh my! Well, okay. I have to. She gets a little notebook and she goes, I don't know. We've declared there was a large mammal in this house. I may need to see about having the inspector come by and looking at that.
Kimberly, are you not the large mammal?
Well, I would like to think myself different than a furry creature that walks on all fours, but I suppose in the grander scheme of things, I might be an
is
animal.
that a problem? Oh, we just hep, hep. And you see the capybara just stand up on 2 feet.
She is just jaw slacked, and you see her just taking notes about the capybara, just like, why is this creature? This was not approved on the lease. I don't know what this here thing is.
One of the other doors slides open, and Roderick is now in some sort of like smoking jacket with a pipe. Why, hello, my name is Roderick Emmerich III. You are the conqueror of houses, I have heard. It is a pleasure to meet you. And extends a right hand.
Oh, you are so gentle. Yes, I would love, and she shakes her hand. I would love to talk to you, sir.
Right. I don't actually do the talking part when it comes to the house. The others usually handle it. I'm more of the keeper of the goings-ons, if you will, the dishes and the other things. There's a lot to go over, but it's nothing you need to concern yourself with.
The house
anybody
used
else
to talk, but we didn't like what it was saying. That's quite rude.
Sorry, what?
Seiza said that the house used to talk, but they didn't like what they was saying, and it was quite rude.
Oh, I see. So Kimberly Sherrill from the Homeowners Association just goes, well, if these walls could talk, am I right? So yeah.
You don't want to listen to that. No, shh, quiet. And he just slaps the wall.
Okay. And she gets out. She starts making more notes. Talking walls, maybe infestation. Okay, well, that's not up to code. We'll have to figure out if the walls are talking because there's an infestation. We'll have to see if that's because of hygiene or possibly an infestation. Yeah. So I just wanted to take a few minutes of y'all's day to talk about the front lawn. It's not up to code, and we all got to a vote. And as president, it's my job to come over and visit y'all and talk about it.
It's ants.
We are here.
Ants.
I assume you came with an award.
With it,
you took a vote for whose lawn is best. We would love to hang it up. Maybe on the front, a plaque of some sort in brass.
I was thinking more of a trophy. I'll even dust off a space in the fine china cabinet.
She has this never break grin, and she goes, well, I wouldn't say it's an award, but you get the trophy of my time. I am going to ask y'all. Actually, the problem with the front lawn is that the grass is all dead and it's very tall. And we try to present a nice unified image of green, healthy grass and a lot less sinkholes and exposed ditches that we see in the front. And the trees are just designed to look like dead people. And at least, well, I'm not going to say that's what it is, but that's what everyone says. And it's a little bit perturbing, to be honest.
Why is it perturbing? Death is a part of life. It is a part of life. It is what makes all of us mortal or immortal, if that was a thing.
Well, I mean, yes, but also, while we are alive, I think we'd like to project an image of joy and happiness to be alive. This just looks like giant tree-based skeletons. In fact, I think one's even got a sad face carved into it. I don't like that none.
His name was Bob.
Bob.
In my home country, these are very common symbols of joy and pleasure.
Oh, wonderful. Well, you know what? She gets out her book. I think we need to have, what the problem here is? We are just not understanding where we're coming from. I think what we need is to make a big cultural understanding day where we all get to meet up and learn about each other and see what you're all about. Does you want to? I'm going to schedule that in right now. Does next a half week work for you?
I believe half a fortnight would work for me.
I'm very busy. We are all very busy, actually. We have many things to do. And I think, as you have heard from my dear roommate here, that we have many cultural traditions that must be upheld. And you're not coming here to tell us that your regulations are not in line with our culture, are you? Is that not the thing you're saying, right?
Oh. You know what? Give me, because that's really good, your choice of intimidation, diplomacy, or deception.
Can we assist?
Because I feel like that just falls under all three of those bad boys.
Intimidation.
All right.
It's still October, so I'm still using my eyeball dice. Wait, can you see the little eyeball? I don't know, but it's great. Anyway, let's roll that. My bonus is ridiculous for intimidation, by the way.
Love it.
Let's see. I hope it's even right, because I've never been level 10. Like, is it normal to have a plus 18 bonus at a level 10?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm an expert in it. 32.
Oh my God. So you give her this kind of quiet ultimatum. She, again, with this unbreaking smile, eyes flittering as they're processing the situation that's really unfolding, and they just kind of stammer and go, you know what? Okay, what? So, right, I think what we're just gonna do is we are just gonna let, bygones be bygones. Because your all's culture, I don't get it. I don't have to. It's wonderful. Maybe just fill in the ditches a little bit, maybe water the lawn in the mornings a few times. Your trees can look however you want. That's all we ask. Just water.
Caesar's going to kind of go from top of Stuart's head and kind of fly over to Reginald, kind of land on his shoulder and kind of whisper,
So, why are we still talking with this one? Why aren't we eating?
I'm not entirely sure, I'll be honest. I think some sort of deal has been met. Kimberly, I do have a single question for you. You are advising us to water our grass in the morning, but the evening is quite better. You don't see, we were doing it in the morning, and that's why it's all dead. The sun beating through those tiny water molecules burns it. We've done our best to do it at night, but it's the city, really, the every other water days. It's very confusing.
Oh, were we supposed to water it with water?
Well, what in Azimuth's great big sky to water your lawns with? If it's not water.
Tears.
What they mean is we are very concerned about the drought. I don't know if you know about global climate change. So what we do here is we recycle water. They call it gray water. And tears is the shorthand.
Gray water from orphans? I'm sorry, your little bat feller is really confusing me. Are you taking tears from orphans?
It's a joke. They're trying to be a comedian. That's right?
We get very good deal, and we support the local economy.
Right, so
Why is everybody laughing at Caesar?
What a comedian.
She rolls to see through the obvious heaps of capybara bullshit that's happening in this room.
Capybara bullshit.
And she gets a critical fail.
Yup.
That'd be the name of this episode.
Capybara
bullshit.
Capybara bullshit.
So she gets a critical fail, and she's looking at you, and she just goes, You're pulling a fast one over on Kimberly Cheryl. I get it. You're not really taking tears from the orphans. There's not enough water to water your lawn with orphan tears. I'll
It
tell
would
you.
take a lot of orphans. It would take probably like an orphan factory that had been established by
Right.
like our ancestors or something. That would be
I imagine.
And who would even do that? Certainly not me. I'm the new president of the HOA, not the old one.
In the ensuing laughter, Grimlock casually closes the door with jars clearly labeled orphan tears.
Oh, hold on. She clearly doesn't see it. She's too busy being way out of her element here. So this woman, Kimberly Cheryl, just kind of laughs. She goes, okay. Well, I'll tell you what. We'll call bygones bygones. If just in the morning we get the ditches filled and I can just see a little bit of water before the morning, and I'm not talking that sweet morning dew. And you know what, what was your name again, Mr. Fancy Pants with the 3 names?
Roderick Emmerich III.
Roger Emmerich. It's like we have like a senator here. I feel so important. Well, Roger Emmerich III. If y'all could just make sure you can water them at night, that's fine. I don't care none. But I just want to make sure I see that the water's on them by tomorrow morning. So just water them tonight. Fill the ditches in the front lawn. We'll call things square and even. All right.
Trying to find some bodies.
Well, I believe there's a lot of people here who'd love to pay for the work to do that. So I'm just gonna go. Oh, and let's see about checking on those walls. Make sure you don't have an infestation there, because that's not up to code. And also, we'll see about having that cultural meeting, because I would love to learn about where y'all from to figure out why these trees look like skeletons. That sounds super neat.
That sounds neat, but we actually have an appointment. So you must leave immediately. Thank you for coming.
Thank y'all for having me and listening. Idex bless. And she gets up and just leaves. And
Take care. I'd say it was a pleasure, but I don't like lying.
You're so funny.
I'm really not.
The door closes behind her as Jeremy closes the door and brushes the handle, goes, goodbye. And then he just kind of like leaves the scene.
Why did we let breakfast leave?
Listen, didn't you not hear? She is the empress of that organization. They'll come looking for her. Do you know how people are about lawns?
But blue blood is very delicious.
I say that we start with her subordinates and work our way up to her, so that by the time that she is devoured, she is filled with nothing but tasty despair.
That's the idea.
I'll put it up for a roommate meeting. Kimberly Cheryl, next feeding crop.
All right, table that, yes.
While you're discussing this, there's another knock at your door.
Oh,
This is orphan delivery man. Tell them we're all stacked up.
Jeremy, where are you?
Jeremy comes scuttling in with a bunch of giant burlap sacks filled with like people's necks and blood, basically a whole bunch of vampire treats on a silver plate. And he goes, "Hello, would you like me to be opening the door?"
That's what you are here for, Jeremy.
Oh, right. He grabs it and he's full facing the door with this giant silver platter full of heaping blood and human meat. And he's about to open the door.
Jeremy. And I take the plate. I will take care of this. And I go off to the corner. I totally don't start fucking up this pile of body parts.
Caesar kind of flies over and lands on a plane, just starts nomming down.
All right. So you two are off feeding. Jeremy opens the door and extends his hand for a handshake, and the person there kind of bats him aside and comes storming in. You see this like 5 foot 5'4" old man who, not old, but like salt and leather, and one of his eyes is kind of turned inward a little bit, and he's kind of got like a wrinkled face. You recognize the person who introduces himself as Mr. Tumless, who is the man that you owe 2,500 gold for, the lord of the land of this cul-de-sac, who comes in and he goes, "All right, what? Listen, shut up. My money. Shut up. Where's my money? I was told fudge brownies. Where's my money?"
Right. Well, see, Jeremy was just about to leave. You actually caught him leaving the house to get said gold pieces. It's insane the timing you have, Mr. Tumless. Honestly, only conquerors have it. You either get it when it's good or not at all, right?
He is going to see through your BS. He's going to try. Yeah, he does. You're like, it's Jeremy. And he goes, what? No, Jeremy? No, listen. Hey, listen. Shut up. Jeremy's got nothing but 2 feet and no brains. Where am I? Listen, money. 2,500 in my hand. Shut up. What? My money.
So 2,500 what? I assume we are still paying in copper.
Critical fail.
Let's go.
His brain is broken. All
We
right.
don't need to do anything. We don't need to do anything.
Mr. Tumless, who you gave the brain scramblies to a little while back, which the eye and it just all over the place, just goes, what? Yes, sir. Copper gold. Yep, I want it. And hold on. Copper, like you said. I know where I am. Shoes are on my feet. Where's your copper?
Oh, Yulia. Our copper
God.
stores, they are great, but I don't know where they are.
Out of character, as you start like moving through mental inventory, you realize that you spent all of your money on something dumb. What was that dumb thing that you blew all your money on?
Was
Who are
it
you
just
asking?
me or was it
Smoking
Yulia?
gun.
Who
I-
are you? Who blew the cash?
I feel like it's got to be one of those two, though.
The
Right.
You know what? I'll take this one. Caesar spent it on something. His background is junk collector.
Nice.
Okay. What was it? Was it like an antique, like
Let's say
figurine?
it was. Oh, the house now has it's a 2-story house, so it has a kind of giant alligator with a clock in his mouth.
I love it. And the person that sold it to you was like, this is a clock a gator. This is a very unusual aberration from another realm. And you bought it hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah,
It's like this.
Caesar was told it was a limited edition collector's item.
Mhm.
It's right next to his forecastings of Bigfoot feet. And just like
And it's just a knickknack. It's basically like the hula girl, like with like the clock on her tummy, but it's you think it's like
The
Is
alligator's
this-
also wearing a hula skirt too.
yeah, like you think this is like a Tarrasque, but like
Yeah.
a baby Tarrasque. So now we go back to Mr. Tumless, who wants to know where his 2,500 copper is and not the 2,500 gold. And he's just like, listen, buddy, mackerels don't make brownies, but tomorrow is Pajama Tuesday and Popeyes needs water. Where's my money?
oh, I don't. O positive and then the brain controlling thing. Just don't bother. It gets a little wacky. So I last saw our money with Caesar, I believe.
Roderick, our money, it is in the basement.
Ah, yes, the stronghold. Yes, where everyone keeps their money. No doors, no windows. Understood. Yes. Tumless, would you please accompany me? I will help you with the bags.
It's like, I'll help you with the bags. And he goes, bags aren't kangaroos. All right. Listen, fella, I'm a butterfly. I hunt turkeys. Okay. I am God's left pinky. I'm going to be outside. Give me my money. All right. 2,500 gold in copper. But outside, I'll be there. Shut up. Where am I? Outside. And he just starts to like a ping pong ball lost in a game. Finally gets his way outside.
Okay, yes, that my fault. Honestly, this is getting a little out of hand. I thought I could fix him. I tried.
I feel like at this point that we should just put them out of his misery.
I'm wondering if we just leave the door closed, he'll have enough trouble finding it again. He won't be back.
You hear the unusual shrieking of Mr. Tumless as you think he's singing a song, and then just goes into an unusual chorus of bird noises that just seem like chaos.
At this point, the capybara waddles out of the kitchen, and you see Seiza kind of covered head to toe in blood and gore. It's just like licking his, fingers. That's some good. That's pretty good.
Grimlock follows very close by, equally as dirty.
Did you eat it all?
Oh, we left
No,
you some. We
saved
left you
something
some.
later.
Better not be the cartilage. I hate the cartilage.
No, we
Mr.
got the
Tumbless.
Spleen, half a liver. We also make sure to leave you the thigh.
It's,
Now-
thighs save lives.
Yeah. No.
Very thick. Very thick.
Now, thankfully, Mr. Tumless was outside, screeching bird calls and reciting recipes, shouting "shut up" to like no one in particular. So he didn't hear anything. He didn't hear any of that as his brain is fully scrambled. But yeah, you need to figure out how to get that 2,500 gold.
Oh, I'm definitely going for the last brain scrambly.
Okay.
I'm gonna get Tumless to help me with the bags in the basement. So I want to use my my special vampiric power of Your Mine as one of my
Alright.
focus spells.
All right. And that is a will save on my part, right?
Yes,
Very
the
good.
target must the Mr. Tumless must attempt a will save.
Oof. Okay, let's see what he can do. Mr. Tumless critically saves.
Okay. Well, the scramblies don't always work in our favor.
And as you try to scramble him, he just you do the whole like Jedi mind trick, like, you need to help me move my bags into the basement. And he goes, "What? No, I don't. What bags? Where am I? Shut up, I'm here. You owe me money."
Well, honestly, I am everybody else. I am sorry. We need to find this man money, apparently. I don't know if I'm much help.
Right. So Tumless just kind of looks around, and then he looks to you and goes, "All right, feller. Hey, listen. By sunup, tomorrow morning, money, or boop, you're gone. Where am I? Shut up, money. I'll see you tomorrow."
Yes, of course. Tomorrow morning, we will have all of your copper.
What's happening tomorrow morning?
I believe you were going to fill in the ditch in the front yard.
In the morning, right. Now, but what about my
Right.
money? Am I getting that tomorrow or now?
Tomorrow, yes, Mr. Tumless. You were just warning us.
Right, tomorrow morning. What's happening again tomorrow morning?
Well, after you collect your money, you're going to I think at this point, Roderick just tries to escort him into the house as he's like explaining to him, just puts his arm around his shoulder and just is like, "Well, tomorrow morning, Mr. Tumnus, you're going to be collecting the bags of gold, which are down here in the basement. You can look them over now if you'd like."
All right. I'm just gonna take that as deception. He's gonna try and save against it. It's good. It's good. It's great, in fact. But a level 10 vampire, you start moving him in, and once he gets to the basement, he just goes, "Wait, bag carrying gloves. I'll be right back. Money tomorrow morning. I'll see you soon." And then he runs out of the house. And he basically like barrels through Jeremy out of the house, and starts heading to his home, shouting, "Where are my bag carrying gloves? I'm looking for my bag
My
carrying gloves."
gods, I think I may have made him a better negotiator.
Do we need to get jobs now? We have
Why do
all
we keep
night.
letting delivery just walk out the door?
That's what I'm wondering.
That one's slippery. We could just go, well, so here's the thing. Same thing with these organizational people. You eat them, people come looking for them. Then you have to eat more and more and more. And that will, I don't want to put on too many pounds.
If we
That
let
is a-
them
I'm
on the
watching
bus
my
and walk out-
figure.
It is the lord of the land we just let out our door. The armies
yes.
that he could bring.
So I guess we have to go get jobs.
There's
Or threatening them.
Or, hear me out. We use our special abilities to destroy the local bank and take the contents.
So rob a bank or get a job. Should we
both
have a
sounds like
meeting?
work.
the last job I had. I was sailing the sand sea of Asmacon as a great explorer. I'm not about to go work inside of this city. I have a library and a drawing room. I am not about to lower myself to minimum wage. Thank you very much. The bank it is.
Right. You know, it could just be like a subway we go to, you know, like one night. That's enough copper, right? How much does a sandwich cost? 10 gold?
You're suggesting we open a sandwich shop at this point?
No, we work for existing sandwich shop for a single night. I don't know how money works. How much do we need? Is it a lot? Can we just make a
Okay.
sandwich?
Okay, second idea. We, instead of giving him copper, we give him this. And I hold up an old-timey bomb with like a fuse and like just a black ball. And it's already lit, so it's just like
I'll just go. I told you not to bring those in the house. That's what this shed is for.
and I just toss it. Small explosion off screen. Nothing major.
Caesar
Yeah.
still says good cursing. Cursing never go wrong.
Honestly, it is I don't think I can control his mind anymore at this point. I don't know if I've actually given him powers. I'm afraid I may have. So a curse may be what's needed.
Worst comes to worst, Caesar can resurrect them.
All right, I guess we rob a bank.
Okay. I
Get the
would have
bombs.
put this out here when we did this whole what we do in the shadows thing. I had no idea it was going to be 4 idiot vampires robbing a bank.
I didn't know this is where we would end up, but I had a strong feeling.
It was either subway
your
or rob a
idea.
bank.
Like I just assumed y'all would like run into random idiots and then just like Jedi mind trick them. I'm here for the bank
I
robbery,
tried.
yo.
I tried.
I love
We're
it.
gonna rob this bank, PJ.
I will say this right now. Out of all 4 of you, the only people who have fed are the halfling alchemist and the Nixtera sprite. Well, yeah, sprite Nixtera. So the 2 of you are also still very famished and very hungry, and you used a vampire power while starving. So Ian, you are further exhausted beyond that. You are
Right.
drained one until you get some
Yeah.
blood in you.
Okay.
We pick up a snack on the way.
You know what? Subway. Then we can go to the same place.
Oh, you're right. There's always
Go in for a
something
sandwich,
out behind
leave
the
with an
subway.
employee.
We can take their tips. Probably
my
like
God.
5 copper.
Oh my
So
God,
Caesar
okay.
kind of pats his copper bearer. Oh, and Stuart can eat too.
Oh,
Yes.
you're right. We could eat Stewart.
Don't you dare say that. I'll
Yeah,
curse
yeah.
you. Caesar will curse you. Yes, many, many curses.
Listen, you've been getting along so well, you two. Just don't make me have to have that intervention again, all right?
And you just see kind of like a Stuart just kind of just blink once. Then
He blinks one eye individually.
yeah,
All right. So I believe the plan is to go hunting for food. If you are looking for the subway, now I need some clarification. Are you looking for the sandwich restaurant in theory or the mode of transportation?
So
Yes.
because this is the world of Edge of Legend, It wouldn't make any sense for there to be a subway. But what I imagine is there's some kind of subway, and then there's a sandwich shop that's named whatever you want it to be underneath.
It's a street.
That's
the
well
sandwich
known.
shop,
Street.
whatever you want. it to be.
Subway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
So-
wagon tunnel.
The wagon tunnel. You head down the main thoroughfare of the streets, and you do find a restaurant named Sibin Paniscopia, and it is a meat bread store where they take your bread and they put meat inside the bread. It's basically the closest you're going to get to a sub sandwich. And you do see a bunch of people. You see a bunch of members of the Adolfon civilianry, just like in different dumb costumes. Some are scary, some are alluring, some are obviously bad. Some are bad on purpose, ironically. And there's like in this large line, and you can overhear them talking about how they want to make sure they get a lot of like food before they go drinking at all these amazing parties that are happening tonight of all nights.
What is happening?
The food appears to be celebrating something tonight.
I don't like it.
It may be. Is this a local lord's custom? I'm confused. Is this something? You know how we make Jeremy dress up every once in a while,
Ah, that was funny.
right? Yeah. So I'm wondering if this is that.
I will just like grab somebody by the collar who's like passing by on the street, like any person who's just like walking in a certain direction, and just like yank them towards me and say, "You, what is all of this? What is going on?"
So you grab someone by the collar, and they kind of recoil at the immediate strength and severity. They go, well, this is of course the great celebration. We are celebrating the end of the season. The harvest is coming in, and everyone is having a great big party. Some people call it different names, but usually we drink, we dance, we give candy, we play mischievous pranks on one another. It's a happy evening.
Sounds dumb.
We don't have to be rude. It's just it's going to happen whether you like it or not. So might as well get in the spirit, eh?
The spirit. What is it called?
Oh, summoning spirits? I can count summon spirits.
Well, I believe I want to say it's the Islay Harvest Festival. As we all come together and celebrate what we've been able to raise together. Iodex has some holidays, but mostly graduations and such. Islay is more of the parties and festivals for food.
What are we raising? The dead?
No, are you a necromancer, sir?
No.
I've never been to the magic academies, but necromancy here is a very valid form of magic, and I just don't know it yet.
Oh,
Does
that
Caesar
was-
look like some cheap Potter necromancer like that? No.
I don't know
Caesar
you, sir. You
is
might
Caesar
be.
the impressive.
I don't know. Why is he impressive? He's a small man on a capybara. Why
Oh.
is he impressive?
Is it not
Don't
the most
touch
impressive
him.
capybara that you have seen today?
I mean, I've studied books on creatures that come from the Feywilds and the Underfey. I don't understand why I should be impressed with a. Actually, it's quite adorable. This little.
Capybara blinks
fellow.
one eye and then blinks the other eye.
Can I look around? How many people are like? How many people are around?
There's easily a lineup of about 30 people waiting to get into the copia. And this person you just pulled off the streets looks like he's wearing so you see this guy wearing a long white robe with red gloves up to the elbows, and he's got a really bad wig made of hair with like a really bad braid wrapped around and this awful attempt to do the symbol of Afra. And he's like, "I'm going as Ilona. I've heard she's quite the miracle worker, and quite honestly, I think that's tremendous. I don't know what miracles she's done. It's either that or the avatar of Gorm, who sounds brutal and unsightly."
PJ, does it look like there's a empty alleyway or anything nearby us?
I mean, yeah, it's Adolfon, so like it's a lot of stone like alleyways and streetways, and yeah, it's very you can find an alleyway eventually.
Caesar kind of looks over at empty alleyways and then goes and looks back at the person and goes, "But if you want to learn about necromancy, Caesar can probably teach you something. Yes, but this place is very, very too much noise, too much people. Let's go somewhere quiet. And kind of motions over towards the empty alleyway.
They seem cautiously optimistic. They say to them, I'm not cautiously optimistic. That's weird. They seem cautious. They go, well, I would love to learn the magic of the undead. Going with a stranger riding a capybara into an alley seems like a bad move on my part.
But he is not a stranger. He is the amazing,
Impressive,
the
Caesar.
amazing, the impressive, the almighty Caesar. We just told you.
For someone who's so impressive, I still don't know him. If you excuse me, I must meet my friends. And he points down the street, and you see this really, really tall, buff guy wearing a hat and suspenders, and he's holding what looks like a cat, and the cat's been stripped with like white paint to look like a badger. And he goes, "Yes, see, we're playing heroes this evening. Yes, that is Woodmush and Wordfoot, and over there, that's that is." And you see this dude like super jacked wearing like a wig and a skull face mask, and that's Icky the wrestler. Love him, love them. Yes, we do. I want to go have a party. Until then, toodaloos, and be safe on this fun and spooky evening.
Well, I don't know who they were trying to be. I don't know those people.
Okay, two questions. Can I grab somebody and teleport?
Yeah, if you want to, my dude, you absolutely can.
Second question. Can I drop a smoke bomb, then grab somebody and teleport?
Yes, answer to both those questions is yes.
Cool. Grimlock, as soon as the man turns around, Grimlock just says, "Okay, smoke bomb," and let's just like lifts his skirt and lets one drop like an egg. And smoke bomb grabs homeboy, teleports into the nearest alley, and right on the neck.
You're grabbing the one cosplaying as Ilona?
Yeah, who's Ilona? Yeah, sure.
Clip it. Okay, yeah, dude, yeah, absolutely. Give me an athletics check. Trust me.
How does this game work? Wait, you have to roll dice in this game? Man.
That's what they tell me though.
Hit him with the brain scramblies.
Half an hour. Play for over an hour. Oh god, where did I put my dice?
Oh god. I just love that you're running into people cosplaying the main characters of Edge of Legend, and homie over here is like, I'm gonna eat that person.
I like the Makai's like, yeah, great. Who's Alona? Yeah, jumping in on all of our one-off, like our one-shot or triple shot campaigns. Yeah, sure, great.
That was a 19.
19.
Plus 6, 25.
25. Yeah, critical success. This you see the smoke immediately pops up and the person's confused. You grab them critically, they're completely grabbed. You poof over to an alleyway and you feed. You remove all of your penalties and you get a focus point back to use more of your vampire magic if you want to. Now you have a dead body on your hands.
Roger quick, Yulia, he needs no other tonight. And then like he's looking around and keep your eyes open. He's trying to figure out where they went.
It's the alley, probably.
Quickly, tally ho! And Roderick runs in to figure out if he can get like a bite in on this person before.
Caesar follows, but instead of snacking, he's actually going to go through the person's pockets, just take whatever he finds.
You're gonna Rufa?
Yes.
You're gonna Rufa this dead body?
You did say that he was dead.
Yes.
Yeah.
He is dead.
Use it.
The very good point. Very good. He is dead. Okay. So
So Rufa only takes from the living.
So Ian and Sam, you are feeding. That's going to remove all your penalties. You are fine. No drank, no enfeebled, no stupefied, and you will get a focus point back. So you're doing good. You are able to find on this person's being 50 gold in their pocket.
How much is that in copper?
Damn, that's nothing. We need copper. We need to find other people.
Well, we could probably buy some copper with the gold.
That's a myth, I think. I've been
Thank you.
reading on this culture, and I was pretty sure that that's a myth. We could check though.
The bank would know.
The bank would know. We'll ask them before we
You see Seiza, he's like putting each of the coins, which is about the size of him, into the saddlebags of Stuart.
Oh, Stuart's got saddlebags. This is a capybara with saddlebags now.
You'd be surprised how big capybara are.
I have barding. I have Stuart is wearing barding, so I'm.
You got level 10 and you got items to pick, and you were like, I'm giving this capybara barding. Michael, you're great. That's awesome.
Seiza's also a cavalier.
Okay, I need everyone to give me fortitude saves.
Ooh.
I'm sorry, everyone except Michael, who did not feed off of the cosplayer
Oh, we
slash.
about to be wizards?
Maybe. Depends on your fortitude save.
How does page work?
All right, 1 second. Let me.
I got a 21.
Not bad, not bad.
I got a 19 on the die face.
Ooh.
Is my fortitude bonus really plus 20? Well, it is because I'm a barbarian, probably.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
You're
very
level
high.
10.
That's 39.
Damn. Yeah, no, you're good. You're good. All right. So
34.
Sam critically succeeded. What was yours, Makai?
34 for me.
Nice. Ian, what was yours again?
I got a 21.
21. Unfortunately, you actually fail the fortitude save.
That's fair.
So-
I did roll a 4. It would just have ridiculously high bonuses.
So as everyone is feeling pretty good, there's a weird kind of like a warm tingle to the blood as you're starting to ingest it. Ian, your character is starting to feel some unusual feelings in their body and see some unusual colors, and you have a kind of light floaty feeling. You are now a wizard, to quote Makai. I just heard Sims.
Actually, do you mind if I PJ, do you mind if I change this? Instead of saddlebags,
Mhm.
it's the Edge of Legends equivalent of Whole Foods tote bags that's strapped on the
Sure, why not? You have the Adolf on Prime Copia burlap sack bags on each side. You're looking fit. Meanwhile, your housemate who does all the daily tasks management is now high as a kite off some partygoers' blood.
Roderick, after feeding, he kind of does a thing where he looks back and he breathes. Oh, to be an adventurer, tonight is the night. And he just busts off just like out of the alleyway. And he grabs the first person he sees. He says, "Bank, bank, bank, bank." And he just waits for them to point in a direction.
that thinks that body's laced with something.
The first one you see looks at you terrified, goes, the bank is, and they are terrified into a panic.
Scrambly. I want to use my skill.
They rolled a die face of 4. I'm sure the DC is so high it's almost a critical fail. They just go, ah, and they drop to the ground unconscious.
Oh, Talmus now has a sibling, and then I'm going to look back and Yulia, the bank.
I will be
Yulia, the
running
bank.
to catch up. Be like, again. Don't you know how to tell when the people are on drugs? Don't eat that. Oh, well, I guess I'd eat that too. I feel fine. Well, all right, let's go.
With this dead body, I'm just gonna put a bomb in it, and then I'm gonna walk away. I'm just gonna let it.
Oh no.
Rufa, I mean not Rufa. Seiza's gonna have Stuart the Cupbearer kind of hold Reginald's head and goes, "You're going down a dark tunnel. You look left, you look right, you look left, you go right. And boom, wow."
Okay, so you have this moment. He's still very, shall we say, inebriated. I'm gonna roll a d4. That's the random direction you're gonna go: north, south, east, west. You're gonna go south. You just possessed by the spirit of the night. You turn a full 180 and you start just sprinting up the road. And I imagine everyone is just sprinting after you because you are a vampire in public, high off your ass. Now, as you start running after him, after a few blocks, you suddenly hear, and everyone's screaming as one of you decide to put a bomb inside the cadaver of the brain scrambly person, and there's this giant fiery conflagration behind you as you start to crest the street at the other end. I need
See
every.
nothing wrong with this plan.
Nothing can go wrong.
See absolutely nothing wrong with this plan.
Right.
I need everyone to give me either a survival check, a society check, or diplomacy check to find the bank.
Wow.
See, give me those options
Need a
again.
calculator.
Sure. So survival, society, or diplomacy.
Got the 26 diplomacy.
Nice.
I got a 21 diplomacy, but I want to make sure that it's known that I just keep yelling bank at people. And then this is the entirety of the conversation. Bank, bank, bank.
Yeah, 19.
That's it. Okay.
19 survival.
Okay.
I got a 33 diplomacy.
Okay. So you run into of people also dressed very nice, wearing nice dresses with bright colors or trying to look like monsters. One of them has this very unusual backpack that looks like this giant, weird mound, like a mound of bubbles, and they have like really weird green like clothes and body paint, and they're like, I'm this thing I heard called a bobolin, a bloblin, and they don't know what it is, but they're having the time of their life, and you run into them. And the first thing you hear is just your friend screaming, bank, bank, eyes wide and saying, they're like, I'm a bloblin, not a bank. And then the rest of you start getting some information. Eventually, you're able to talk the entire energy down while your hive friend just kind of looks at his shoes, shouting bank at his own toes. And they are able to direct you. There's this large stone building with giant columns reinforced with like gold and powerful masonry and marble. It almost looks like the Parthenon, but like with a roof over it all. And in giant gold letters, it basically says in the Alpha language, bank, like the bank of Iodex's great wisdom. There you are now standing in front of the bank. Everyone give me a perception check.
The bank actually opened. I realize this is nighttime.
And the bomb just went off.
25.
Where is... Oh, okay.
Critical.
Man, I can't do anything tonight. I got an 18.
And 18, okay.
28.
28.
I crit failed.
Yeah. So you riding your capybara mount, you go to the front door and you try to open these giant like stone and wood doors, and they are not budging. And you think, well, maybe because you're small and you're not strong enough, and you just keep pushing harder and harder and harder. At this point that you all realize this building is locked and closed for the night. It is a bank. It's late at night. As Mackay put it, there was a bomb going off, and it's a holiday. The bank is completely closed.
It's closed. We can't rob a closed bank.
I'm sorry, you wanted us to rob it while it was open in the middle of the day?
Yes, how would you get in? Otherwise, they lock the door.
I teleport to the other side of the door and I open the door.
All right, you're using your shadow jump ability?
Oh.
All right. So in the middle of the night, you see this friend of yours kind of shrink into darkness, move around, move through the door. On the other side, Mackay, give me either a. This is to, of course, unlock the door from the inside. Do you have dark vision, by the way?
Yes.
Perfect. Then you won't be getting any penalties. Can I have a thievery check? Yeah, can I have a thievery check? Actually, that should be perfect for this.
$25.
25. Yeah, in a few seconds, you're able to easily disarm this lock. It pops open. You see like this giant, heavy, like brass padlock. The tumblers inside are very heavy, but once you get the click of it, the whole thing just pops apart. Chains come off, and you open up the doors. And all of you saw this little vampire buddy of yours shrink, turn to shadow, move inside. You hear some unusual scraping, and all of a sudden, the sound of chains dropping, and the door just doors open up, and you see your friend on the inside, having now just picked the lock.
I didn't know you worked here. This makes things so much simpler.
If you're working here, why aren't you paying rent?
Look, he already has a job. No need for Subway.
I look at the camera.
When we do this again, there will be a documentary crew following you. Oh man! So yeah, so you enter the bank. You can hear your feet echo with hollow click clacks on the stone and marble floor of this empty building. Imagine, if you will, kind of an older more stone version of all those banks that you see in like the Spider-Man movies that almost kind of look like
More of a church than a bank.
Yeah, well, I mean, America, but it kind
I
of
don't
looks.
say it, but
I'm the GM. I'll say what I want. Anyway, yes, like a church or like a courthouse, but it's a bank and it's massive. You all can do any check you want to try to find whatever you want to find.
Let's go look around. Goes, why don't we just move in here?
People work here in the daytime.
so many windows, lot of light.
Pretty sure they have probably a basement or an underground thing. And hey, more people, more germies.
I would like to look. I'm going to open drawers like where people would be like working and look for money.
Right.
Look for the big door.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So you just start grabbing the drawers out of the tables, like picking them upside down, bunch of papers drop out, and it's a giant mess until eventually you do one, you turn it over, and as a critical 20, you hear this unusual metallic like clang as something drops on the ground, and you see this really big, really cool like skeleton key.
What is this? Can we sell this key?
I got a 23, and you hear the twisting right after that of a clang of metal as Roderick is now ripping anything that looks like any of the fittings that look like copper off of anything inside this bank, like a handrail, and he's just like collecting them underneath his arms as he's just walking past. The chain on the pens, he's like ripping anything that looks like copper out of this bank.
All right, hold on.
I've got it.
Seiza's gonna be the lookout.
All right, so while you're doing that, Ian, you are able to secure like in your vampire strength arms about 90 pieces of copper items from around the room.
Roderick holds up one of the little pen chains that's made out of little balls, and he goes, "This is at least 200 pieces of copper." As he's counting, 1, 2, 3. He's trying to count every little piece on this thing, and he's, "What are you doing? What are you looking for, Yulia? What are you doing?"
It is a key. Do you think we could sell this key for copper?
I would say to ask the bank, but it seems like no one. Wait, hold on. Grimald, you work here? Can we sell this for copper?
Can I say that Grimlot is looking at this like the giant safe and just like looking at 2 bombs and like trying to decide which one to put on the safe?
Yeah, and that's when they turn to you. You work here, and you're going, this one is big, but this one is bigger. Like you're trying to decide.
Meanwhile, the door
2 melons.
says, "Skeleton key goes here."
Yeah, so you're all talking to your gnomish friend. I'm sorry, your halfling friend who's got 2 bombs, and they're considering their options. What do you guys do next?
I hand him the key basically. What do you think? We can sell it.
Grimlock takes it, looks at it, sniffs it, licks it. It's made out of bone, not copper. No help us. Try using it on doors. See what you can find.
On doors?
Is not what you use key for?
Is that what you use keys for?
Beza uses them as back scratchers.
All right.
Roderick just walks up to the door that everybody's trying to get through, and he sticks his hands up in his classical brain scrambly. And he's just like, open!
While he's
Open!
doing that, I will stick the key in the door.
All right. So you stick the key in the door, you start turning it. It takes a few seconds, but finally you hear all the tumblers click. Give me an athletics check to turn this giant crank all by yourself.
Yeah.
And what could Stuart and Caesar come over, and Caesar's gonna have Stuart aid her.
All right, give me an athletics check as well.
Do I have a hero point to use?
Everyone starts off with one hero point.
Yeah, I'm gonna use it. Okay.
I mean, I guess that'll help as well. 22.
All right.
Calculator. 33.
40.
All right.
I'm incapacitated at the moment.
See, I got 40. Stuart is really, really strong.
So, Ian, you're looking at a wall, but the wall has a face on it, and the face is starting to kind of look at you weird. And you go, "How do you look at me weird? I'll teach you to look at me weird. You summon your dark and infernal powers from a world unknown to these mortals. You summon it through your feet and into your fingertips, and you demand its brain to be scrambled right now. How dare you, you weird face? I will tell you that I have dominion over you." And then the face just goes, oh no, and then vanishes. The face runs in fear and like, yes, that's right. My brain scrambled you, big evil face. And in reality, your four friends opened a giant vault door. But your trippy mind, that's what you saw.
You did it.
This place has many ghasts and ghouls inside of its walls. The defenses are great. Be on guard. It just like slinks into the darkness.
Stuart standing there just blinks one eye slowly and then blinks the other eye.
Capybara has like zero fucks to give right now. So you make your way into the vault. It is dark. Oh, who here has dark vision out of curiosity? I know Makai does. Okay, 1, 2.
I got low light, I believe.
Low light. Okay.
Yeah, I have low light as well.
Okay. So until you get basically right on top of something, it's kind of hard to see. You can tell that there is many shelves in this vault. But other than that, you really can't see what's on the shelves if you have low light. The people that have dark vision, you see what looks like treasure chests stacked next to each other from the floor shelf all the way to the ceiling. Those little individual treasure chests.
So I also took the feat nocturnal sense. So I have very good sense of smell.
All right. Yeah, this entire room just kind of reeks of that kind of metallic scent, but it's not blood. And you can smell that there's like a lot of people that come and go in here, and a lot of dust and just a lot of life. Smell a lot of life.
Oh, as a bat sprite, I'm just gonna say Caesar's going to be constantly using a seek action to hear undetected creatures within a 60-foot cone all around us.
Okay. Thankfully, you don't hear anything yet. So what do you do in this vault? All of these chests. You can tell there's something weirdly metallic in this room.
Rufa's gonna. I'm not keep saying Rufa. Caesar's going to gonna yell out. All right, now let's load up the copper on Stuart here.
I would like to use arcane sense.
Okay. So you're like basically checking for anything magical in the room?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You start to open your kind of like a third eye, and you start looking around the room. You see little bits and pieces glow and stand out to you. Like one treasure chest seems to have the slight aura of something that you can tell is evocation magic. One has like the slight aura of abjuration. Over there, you see some slight conjuration, and then somewhere way, way, way in the back of the treasure chest, this big kind of thing of necromantic energy coming from one of the treasure chests. But everything else seems pretty mundane.
And I point out like all of like the magical bits I see, like in that one evocation. Let's get the ooh, necromancy.
Let's look at it.
Roderick is putting the various handholds and door hinges and the inside like brass plate mail flap off the inside of the bank into the bags that Stuart's wearing.
Whole Food
Don't know why we
bags,
came
tote
down here to
bags.
do this, but it's fine.
All right. So what do? You have hold on, I gotta do another thing here. Yeah, you have about 90. You have Ian secured about 93 pieces of copper items.
Just items, yes. Good.
Items. And everyone else here, you are in literally the vault of treasure chests. What do?
I want to go smell the necromancy box.
Okay. You smell the familiar scent of like so this old bone. You smell a nice kind of like fragrant spice smell, like a pumpkin spice, if you will, and then that kind of weird fetid meat, kind of stinky meat smell coming from that one treasure chest.
It smells like this is where they keep their snacks. I'm going to
Ooh,
take
what type
it
of
because
snacks?
I'm hungry. I don't know. And I'm going to just take the box and try to open it.
Okay. As you open the box, you see there's a bunch of unusual papers all over. They have like a bunch of numbers on them and the letter G written on them. It's absolutely in the way. But you do see what looks like this ring, and this ring has a shrunken head attached to it. And around the shrunken head, you see a bunch of bone joints going all around the ring.
It's a ring pop. I'm going to put it on
Yeah.
and I'm going to lick it.
Summoning undead.
Yeah, so you start licking this ring, and first of all, yeah, it tastes exactly how I described the smell. It's bad meat, pumpkin spice, and like
Mm.
bone, if they even know what that tastes like.
It's the
And
pumpkin spice that bothers me.
Listen, I am a basic witch. Okay.
I love it. So you start licking it and you're wearing it and you put it on and you start feeling this unusual power kind of moving through you. You feel like you are suddenly very lucky and yet ominous at the same time.
That's how I always feel.
Roderick just grabs Yulia by both shoulders and just, you feel it too. And just like started and takes like another deep breath in, seeing her eyes go a little wider.
Could Seiza look at the ring that Yulia is wearing to identify it?
Sure, yeah.
I already
so
licked it, which
what-
means it's mine, just so you
See,
know. But you can
what-
look at it.
What am I rolling?
You'll be rolling Arcana or Religion or Occultism.
Okay. That's really high. Let's see.
Oh, that's right. You're a thaumaturge. You get
Yeah.
all of those.
I got a 35.
35. So you don't know specifically what this one item is, but you know exactly what it's for. This is a ring of good and bad luck. This is designed to give you something really amazing followed by something really terrible. Usually this is a cursed item that the wearer wears until they die. And whoever wears it, it is bonded to until the ring kills them or until it is given to someone else willingly.
Interesting. Recognize
Uh,
that
oh.
Yulia's undead.
Now, I did say it was good and bad luck in equal and outstanding measures that the wearer has to hold on to them until they, I guess you could say, are destroyed.
Right.
It-
Okay.
And in this case, it makes more sense. And so the only way you can get rid of it, i.e. remove it off your finger or get rid of the curse that's on you, is by having someone willfully take it from you.
Seiza's gonna look at it and go, congratulations, you are cursed.
I am already cursed. I have to live with all of you.
You are cursed.
No, he said cursed, not blessed.
It is curse of good and bad luck. Very much
Right.
like our curse of Jeremy.
I will lick it again. It's worth it. It's a little bit of pumpkin spice. All right, let's go check more boxes.
Yeah, let's start opening these other like magical signatures.
All right. So let's see. I said evocation, abjuration, and conjuration. Those other schools that you find.
Let's go with conjuration.
Conjuration. So again, you open the treasure chest. There's all these papers in the way with numbers and the letter G on it. It's absolutely in the pathway of what's really interesting. You said conjuration, right?
Yes.
You find what appears to be it kind of looks like a hand, and it's stuck in this formation. The pinky is down, but the hand's kind of shriveled and weathered. But you can see a bunch of runes going up the hand and up the fingers as well.
Gonna identify this one as well.
Yeah. You can give me a occultism check on this one.
I would also like to use an occultism check.
What's that?
So I would also like to use occultism.
Awesome. Put your brains together.
32.
32. Excellent.
36.
36.
Hell yeah.
As you're looking at the unusual runes, the kind of old eldritch runes going up the different hand bits, you recognize this as the hand of summoning. You see on the thumb is portal. On the finger is dragon. On the middle finger is griffin. On the ring finger is rope. And on the pinky that's already closed, you can kind of read, and it says true love.
It is a slightly used hand of summoning things.
Hand of summoning, and some of they use the most useless one.
Caesar's gonna open what other boxes? Magic boxes open?
You have the evocation and the abjuration.
Let's go with the abjuration.
Papers everywhere, but once you start getting throwing all the papers out, in the center you see what looks like a little heart locket, like something that you would wear, like if a loved one. You open it up, and sure enough, there's two pictures inside. You see two women, beautiful and aged, and definitely of high society. I will need a Arcana or religion for this one.
See, I got a 34 on that.
34. Okay, so this one is effectively a true love's locket. Whoever consents to be basically putting their heart and their love into this locket, in a picture in this locket, then their health and safety will be magically assured. They'll be protected from danger and early death. Basically, whoever gets their images in this locket magically are bonded together, no matter where they are, and ensure a long and healthy life together until they both die in the same day.
Caesar's gonna just kind of make a face and just, this is stupid. And just throw it in the tote bag.
So if you want to be stealing loot, last one is an evocation.
Yeah, let's open that one.
Okay.
And identify that.
I need everyone to make a fortitude or willpower save.
Okay, fortitude.
$38.
38. Okay, you pass.
33.
I'm sorry, 53?
33. You can't understand my accent? Wow.
I got a 36.
36. Okay.
I got a 35.
35. All right. So you all pass, but you all receive fear 2 and panicked 1, and your entire body wants to run in terror as you open up the evocation and you see the Crusader's pendant of the Holy Stand. It is this giant holy symbol to Azamat. and Minerva and all these grand, amazing heroes, the AstraZeneca's pantheon, and just being with you, like, like it just hurts your soul.
I drop 2 bombs in it, close the lid, kick it across the room.
Oh no! Okay, how much damage are your bombs?
Let's see.
Ooh, level 10.
Oh right, they're not in bombs, they're in spells. They're not in weapons, they're in spells. But I think they're in weapons.
I like how you just like link, like you just like generate these.
Like I like to imagine he just wears very baggy clothing, so he just kind of shakes them loose. Let's go ahead and use the Thunderstone. I believe it's 3d4 sonic damage.
Okay.
And 3 sonic splash damage, and the DC is 28.
Okay. All right. DC is 28. You know what? They are not a sentient being, and they're just kind of like a general item. So yeah, give me full damage on that bad boy.
All right. And then I said I dropped 2, so that's doubling.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And it's going to be 30 damage.
So you throw these 2 thunder bombs into the treasure chest. You close it. You throw it away. Everyone turns and starts to leave the vault because cool vampires look at explosions with a horrible sonic loud echoing from the thing. This item is destroyed and blown to holy hell, and so is most of the treasure chests in the vault. You have about 93 pieces of copper, 3 magical items, and I will say you have 1 treasure chest filled with weird pieces of paper with numbers and the letter G on it. Doesn't make any sense.
As we're walking away, Stuart once again closes one eye, closes the other, and then licks his with his tongue one of the eyes.
As Stuart licks one of the eyes, you see him suddenly just going. Burr. His eyes go wide. As I've already rolled for the hearing thing for you, Michael, I got a critical fail, so I didn't tell you. But as Stuart looks, you see this long shadow coming from the front door. It is easily like a 40-foot long sliver of darkness. And coming from the ground where the end of it is, you see a giant vampire wearing a long black cape, matte black armor, and a disapproving scowl. This is where we're going to take our 5-minute break. When we come back, part 2 of the dark things we do as these wonderful, wonderful heroes of vampirism rob a bank, I guess? We'll see.
Just trying to make rent. Look.
Is that or get the minimum wage job, and who wants to do that?
I love how I gave you guys like appease the HOA and pay rent and be home in time for the inspector to arrive. And this is what we do. Get high and rob banks. Woo!
Yeah, that sounds about right.
All right, everyone. We'll see you in 5 minutes. Love you all.
Man.
5 minutes. Hello, everyone. Hello. And we are back. Thank you so much for that 5-minute break. I hope you've been having fun with these vampiric shenanigans. Man, they are some big old shenanigans. But that being said, we're going to cut back to what y'all missed. So welcome to the Dark Things We Do. This is the What We Do in the Shadows D&D game. The vampires that live in Adolphon Prime in the world of Edge of Legend have to go out and get 2,500 gold to pay rent and make copper, yes, copper due to some brain scramblies. And they were able to just go to a bank heist and break in and take some magical items. And they have a box full of paper with numbers and letters on it. And that's kind of what it is. And as they're leaving, this giant shadow spear comes from the open door, and out rising from it is this large kind of dark figure with a horrible glare looking at you, just going, "What are you doing in this building?"
Well done. That is an entrance.
Really
We should
very nice.
take notes, Yulia. Again, long shadows. It's a good idea.
Daisy goes, making a withdrawal.
Why are you withdrawing from the bank?
Do we know this vampire?
So glad you asked. You can give me a lore vampirism check or lore vampire check. You can give me an occult check. Or you can give me, if my fingers will open up my cheat sheet here, you can also give me a society check.
How about
Oh,
lore
vampire.
underworld?
I will allow lore underworld as well.
I forgot to turn down the fact that I was rolling 46. So when I hit the D20 button, I got 99. I was very
Woohoo!
Got a 31.
I got also 31 for lore underworld.
All
I
right.
got a 34 for occultism.
31 for occultism.
I got a 24 for lore vampire.
Ooh, Lord Vampire, you know that is a very old and very powerful vampire. Everyone else recognizes this as the vampire that you heard about from the Shadowy Umbral of Night Council. The Shadowy Umbral of Night Council is one of the premier world vampiric organizations that makes sure that vampires don't let their presence be known, but still adhere by vampire law and code and give back to the vampire community. And this is a lord of the Shadowy Umbral of Night Council who goes by the name Duke Boz.
You're great. So happy to see you here. Welcome to the bank.
Yes, the bank. Why do immortal vampires have to come to the bank? Shouldn't you have generations of wealth and money lying around?
A mad king has come to our door. Tumlis is now asking for insane amounts of money from us.
What's it? Caesar kind of flies over and lands on Yulia's shoulder and goes and whispers, "This is kind of embarrassing. I didn't vote for him in the last election."
Then go away from me. Go leave. Oh no, you're going to Ian's
Yulia.
character. Yeah, my bad. Okay.
Do not tell him that.
Duke Boz just looks at you with these bright blood red eyes from this a kind of olive skin, old vampire from another continent, and he looks and he goes, "You cannot afford your landlord's tithing. Did you not get the letter? We send the letters telling you about what we are doing. Have you not been paying your dues to the council?"
We've been paying our dues. We've been investing in artifacts, magical artifacts. That will
We
make
voted in the last election.
See, I don't how you say this, but I have not seen you at the mixers. I have not seen you at the meet and greets. I have not seen you at the munchies. You say these things. I don't know you.
the mixers are so awful. There's so many old
Hey,
vampire men there, and they
Wait,
look at me and they say,
Caesar was at the last mixer.
With the mixers, they are boring. Hold on. You see this like 8-foot tall, skinny vampire pull out a tiny notebook and little glasses and is it? How can we improve the mixers? This is my favorite event. I want to make sure that we are reaching out to new vampires and all the like. What can we do?
You should bring mixers, like alcoholic drinks, so we can all get vampire drunk.
Hold it in our house. I do not wish to travel.
More torture.
Would you like to be the next location for the council's mixers? Yes.
No.
I think it's the only way to improve.
You know, I have been looking to dust off the old Tom screws lately.
Caesar does not want a bunch of strangers in the house touching his stuff.
Yes, we will use your place for the hosting. Mixers is hard. We will get the people drunk beforehand. This will be easier, yes. But it's not why I'm here. I will work on the. But is the music? We try really hard on the music. Get this band. Is the music bad too?
You could
Accordion, my lord, It's so old world. Can you not get with what the kids are listening to these days? What is it?
Have
What
you
is
heard of that
it,
new band,
Gimbo? This
Metamore,
liar?
and their hit song, Sadness Factory?
Sadness Factory. It's on all of the
Sorry, Sadness
bards.
Corporation.
I do not know the Sadness Factory. We usually listen to the classics, you know, the Seventh Day Rain of Blood, the Four Horses that are sad and spooky, the Rains of Castamere, things like this. Oh, a Bloody Tears, classics. You know,
This makes me
Good
feel so
classics,
old.
good classics.
I
And
am-
more virgins for snacking on.
more virgins. And you, unfortunately, because we are in a war, virgins are hard to come by. But I will make a note about the virgins. Many
Yes,
more virgins.
nobody
yes.
wants to snack on something after you put your beep in it.
I did. I mean, I had agree to disagree.
Well, I'm sure that's more of a personal issue. I personally don't mind my blood having been touched. That's more of an old world thing.
Yes,
Hmm.
it is a quite old-fashioned point of view. Yes, I would agree with that.
All right. So adding the music, I'll put that on the list. But before I forget, I have to come to you because I noticed that you are breaking into the bank.
No.
Right.
No.
We were also here actually on a very important mission. Yes,
Grimald
very,
works
very
here.
important. Yes, he works here,
If
and he
I
told us
had-
there was an artifact that
That
is
needed to
very,
be
very dangerous to
destroyed.
our kind, and we got rid of it. No
Good
charge.
Hmm.
Didn't you hear the bomb?
I did. I believe everyone heard the bomb in the closed bank at night during a party holiday. This does not bode well for you.
But they wouldn't see. We had to do it tonight because they would never expect it.
Grimlock has an idea. And I hold up the monkey paw and I gesture to the finger that says dragon and I nod.
You see Duke Baz just go, I mourn for the days where we could ride dragons, to kill other dragons, to
I'm
feed."
riding the dragon right now, friend. That hasn't gone away for quite some time.
Duke Baz points a long, gnarled finger, ages of power and decay, and he goes, "Is this one okay? Your friend, are you okay?"
He'll be fine. We get him a juice box on the way back.
A juice boy, I will see about getting him some blood to help get his circuits, his body moving
Yes.
better. Yes.
A juice box is what I call just a random stranger from the streets.
Ah, this is the wordplay. I love the wordplay. Like
Especially
I
their
am
box shape.
drawing a bank right now. I find this joke amusing.
Just that joke, you see Stuart just blinks one eye and then blinks the other.
Laugh, you stupid capybara. I am 4,000 years more powerful than your master. Laugh and make me feel good.
Eh,
And then Stuart just passes gas.
that's his way. That's how he shows appreciation.
This creature is delightful. We should have them at the mixer. They will go over so well with the vampires from
We have-
other continents.
There are many other VIPs to bring to the party, such as one Kimberly Cheryl.
Kimberly Cheryl. No, I don't like
Yes.
this name. These
We-
two first names.
We
Ugh.
do have a meeting set up. We could surprise her with the next mixer.
Yes, it could be a potluck.
Okay, this Kimberly Cheryl. She's important.
Yeah.
She looks
lord?
delicious.
She is the local lord reigning over her territory. We could keep
Empress.
her and her local cabinet would free our lands and ease us to swoop in and grab the power.
Listen,
Yeah.
my noble vampires of my jurisdiction, I command you as your duke to turn Kimberly Cheryl to our side. Sire her at the next mixer, because people of power, that's how we keep our money together. That's how we conquer nations. That's how we survive. People of power, yes?
Are
Can't
you
we just eat-
serious?
Can't we
Yes.
just eat her and usurp her throne? She's
No,
the worst.
no.
Right. I can only deal with Kimberly for 5 minutes. You want me to deal with her for an eternal lifetime.
How about this? We make them a minion, like a
No.
Jeremy.
No. Who is the Jeremy? Who? Oh, this is your familiar, the hello guy.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't like him.
Unfortunately.
Ugh, familiars. Am I right? But we're getting off topic. Listen, you cannot do this thing with the bank because you're drawing attention to yourselves. If you need money, you come to the shadowy umbral of Night Council, pay your dues, go to mixers. You know, these things could help.
So should we summon the dragon?
I would love the glory of slaying a great worm. But alas, I'm on the clock and this will not look good. So I
Hit the button. He hits the button. He hits the button. You say, I would love to slay a dragon. That button is hit, buddy.
As the GM just like takes a long stiff drink.
I regret this choice. Okay. I'll tell you what. Do you
The
have
first and last Halloween show set in the world of Edge of Legends.
It's
Not just a tangent world or a offshoot.
It's gonna be so hard to come back next week for the actual first episode of Edge of Legend in like 2 months, and there's a freaking off dragon just breaking out Alphon Prime. Oh my god. Okay, hold up.
We
I
didn't
gotta
say how long it summons it for, so
This is fair. This is fair. Let me do you all have a favorite color of dragon you wish to summon, Makai?
I think Grimlock is just thinking of your classic big old red dragon.
Okay. All right.
Like the one that everyone thinks of.
This is how Woodward gets out of it. By all the gods, look over there, Corcos.
And his quarter's like,
Oh my
what are you talking about? There's a big piss off dragon over there. Anyway, so you hit the button on the finger, it curls. Suddenly you hear this horrific dragon scream as ripping the roof off the bank and sending gouts of flame spiraling through the midnight air. A red dragon flexes its haunches and takes off into the sky. You can hear the screaming in fear and pain and mortal doubt from the people of Alphon Prime as this red dragon just tears through the sky. Duke Boz just looks up, antsy, like he just wants to get his scimitar and go after this SOB. And he goes, all right, I will tell you what. If you can go back home, pay your tithes to the Lord of your land, make the Kimberly Cheryl happy until the Kimberly Cheryl turn to us. For the next mixer, of course, we'll get some good drunks, we'll get some good music, it'll be great. Then I will overlook this. But remember, the shadowy umbral of Night Council is always watching its other brethren and sisters and mixes of the night. Are we good? Are we okay?
yes.
All right,
all
go.
time.
I shall work on making you a new dragon to slay.
Good.
Seiza's going to
Um,
look over at the dragon and just looks down to the steward and goes, well, there goes the neighborhood. And then Stewart just kind of licks his eyeball again.
Licks the other eyeball.
Yeah.
All right. So Duke Boz just basically says, "Shoo, go home right now. Go, leave."
All right.
With that, you see the shadow from the long shadow from the door catch up to him. You see what looks like a long black cloak unfurl, and you see this old ancient armor from a country either far since aged past or long forgotten. He pulls out this gilded scimitar. The shadow turns into these giant wings, like these giant bat-like wings, as his whole face turns into a demon, and he screams and takes off for the night sky. And he's like, "It's like I'm a young boy again, killing dragons in weird countries. Ah, it's so good to be alive." And he takes off for the night sky.
You get the name.
Really quick, can I just jump in the chat real quick and just say we missed a prime opportunity to say that it was a copper dragon.
No. Hey, PJ.
Yeah.
Can I get a quick retcon for my birthday? That's totally today. Totally 100% today.
since I know you're lying to me, I'm down. It's your birthday, Copper. It's Copper Dragon.
Hell yeah.
Which is great because it's the same fiery element. We miss nothing. It's perfect. So the Copper Dragon flies to the sky, shooting fire. Duke Boz takes off in the night sky and engages in mortal combat with an ancient bronze dragon, a copper dragon.
So dramatic.
So
wait. Can we get the scales afterwards? I mean, we still have to pay rent.
he is far gone into his task of slaying dragons. Now, the choice is yours. Where do you go next? You had Duke Boz yell at you to return home immediately and pay rent. What do you do?
How you
See what
doing,
this looks like
Roderick?
handling now.
We do not owe rent until tomorrow morning. I spoke with that lord, and he said by sunup, and we all know we're not going to be around for that.
Not has an idea.
What is your idea?
Well, we were tasked with getting more and more powerful people. If we're already adding Rebecca to our ranks, why not the Lord of the Lands?
That lord that's all crazy in the head because Reginald made him crazy in the head with his brain scramblies.
If we
He
slay
was-
him, he will be under our control.
He was halfway there by the time I got to him.
I don't know. You scrambled him, I think, to the maximum.
Okay.
Just
Mm.
then, Stuart farts, and Caesar goes, Stuart has a great idea. Since it is
Yeah.
celebration and we must meet very important people, why not we join the celebration? The very important people must be partying.
I like this idea. But first, and I'll walk over to Reginald and just like pat him on the cheek. How are you doing?
I don't feel so good. We got the copper, right? That was what we were, the bank. It's coming back.
Do you need a juice
Vampire
box?
Lord? Juice box. Yes,
get-
juice box.
Let's get you a
Please.
juice box on the way to whatever party we're going to crash. We'll find a party to crash. How's it sound on the way home?
Oh, yes, of course. Crash. I think, if anything, we'll be showing up to improve. But yes, we shall find one.
So really fast, because there's two things. One, if you want to crash a party and do a little hunting for food, give me a society check or a survival check. And then after that, just a reminder, you're supposed to meet the inspector right about now.
No, we should.
Oh, it's still nighttime?
You woke up just as like the sun was gone and you've been out for at least a handful of hours.
If the time is really close, then I think we'll just get a juice box like past a party on the way home.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you're gonna be just kind of like taking food to go. Is that the idea?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, some takeout.
Okay. 1 second.
But take out some takeout.
Okay. Give me a. What was the survival checks before?
I did society. I believe you said society was a possibility.
Yeah.
Yes. You want to do it instead? Go right ahead.
I got a 21 total.
Okay.
I
21
got the
total.
15.
15.
I got 27.
27. Okay.
I got a 22.
All right. Now I'm gonna ask for everyone to give me another fortitude save.
Ah! I got a natural one.
Oh no!
Can you see it? There it is.
Love it. Ian, what was your fortitude save?
I got a 20.
Okay, good. And Michael, what was your fortitude save?
32.
32. Solid. What was yours, Mackay?
31.
31. All right. So, Sam, you sink your teeth into this person you kind of grab off the street and you rush them home, and everyone else is kind of taking a bite. And again, there's kind of warm, but a different warm taste of this one. Sam, unfortunately, you are piss drunk as the person you grabbed off the street was very inebriated. Everyone else is pretty good. But Sam, you're very drunk now.
Yeah, this one's so tasty. Do you want another? You want another? You want a shot? A shot of this? Shots? Shots? Shots?
Roderick, knowing I think I'm down 2 focus spell points, if I feed on this guy again, will I get a second one back?
Yep, you will get all your focus points back.
Great.
Feed-
Right. So Roderick, well, the night is young, and I've already been on quite a ride. And he goes in for another bite.
Do you want to take another fortitude save on that?
Oh yeah.
Oh right. I think I know where this is going.
Damn it. I got a nat 20.
I will make a deal with you. I will take away hero point, but I will let you register that 20 for later, that critical 20 for later. In exchange, you'll be drunk as a skunk right now.
Absolutely, yes. Taken.
All right.
Immediately. You
Remember-
could have never given me that nat 20, and I probably still won't use it. I'll forget about it, but it'll be great.
It was actually a dumb bit, but I can see you want to get drunk, and I'm here to let you all get drunk. So Roderick and Julia are hammered. You get back to the house. 2 of your friends are inebriated entirely. You stumble through your war zone of a front lawn with the treasure chest filled with unusual paper with numbers and letters, and 93 pieces of stolen copper from the pieces of items that are copper plated, and you're in you are in your house. So you're home, safe and sound, drunk as a skunk. And then as you get home, you hear this bolt of lightning crack. A rainstorm seemingly kicks up out of nowhere dramatically as the rain pelts your front door. The pounding is not fast. It's not like angry. It is heavy and methodical. Just poof, poof,
I can take a hangover already.
No, what is somebody? Jeremy!
Jeremy.
He pops out of nowhere. Hello.
Somebody can't hold their juice.
Get the door, Jeremy.
Okay. And he scuttles over the door and he goes, "Oh, I believe it's the inspector." Opens the door. You see standing at the door this tall, dark, mean-looking man wearing black leather armor with a long cape and a long series of necklaces dangling down. He's got what looks like a stovepipe hat with a buckle on the front and a bunch of holy symbols strapped to the side. He is glaring through gold yellow eyes, and you can see 2 swords brandished on his back. He's got long leather gauntlets that just have to be restitched from all the violence he's had to survive. And as he furls his long leather cape back, you see 3 or 4 holy books on a chain hanging from his hip. And he says, "I have been told this was the domicile of vampires. You got my letter, I trust." And then Jeremy goes, "It's the inspector."
Caesar's gonna look at the group and goes, "All right, who ordered the cover of a YA novel?"
And oh, no. What are you expecting?
And he's the inspector. The man slowly, in the rain dripping off his wide-brimmed black leather hat, says, "My name is Inquisitor Silvermane, not Inspector Silvermane."
Is it?
Oh.
This is why we use the tarps and not the
And
paper.
what house are you looking for, Inquisitor?
That's next door. Next door.
He reaches in his back and he pulls out this sword, and on the hilt you see adorned many holy symbols. He reaches in and yanks out high the symbol of Azamat, and as he does this, he just says, "Foul creatures of the night," and he kind of like knocks off his large stovepipe hat. Long silver white hair just goes down his back as he says, "I am Inquisitor Silvermane."
And
Hold on, his full name.
so
Dravain Tiburon, Dravain Tiberian Silvermane, and in the name of the Platinum Hammer, I will smite you beings of darkness this evening.
So that's what you're keeping in the hat, all that hair? I thought it was going to be secret.
No, the hat is just. But I'm about to cross the threshold and fight.
You
know,
have
I'm
to
just-
You
invite
can't
you.
enter unless you've been invited in.
The Inquisitor stops and goes, "I'm pretty sure that's not. You know what? I think we
That's
just
just
need
good manners.
good." He swears under his breath and goes, "All right, this is my job. We're just gonna do this." And he steps across the threshold.
Rude.
And
You must be looking for
Very rude.
Kimberly Sheriff.
everyone roll initiative as you're about to face Inquisitor Devrain Tiberian Silvermane.
Jeremy, close the door.
Jeremy goes, "Hello," and closes the door behind the Inquisitor, who looks at him and goes, "Go away."
The wolf howls tonight. Another nat 20.
Ooh, very nice.
Wait, you have a 20 stacked.
Oh, I do.
I have a feat called Incredible Initiative, which gives me +2 bonus. So let's see what we get there.
Actually, PJ, I was wondering,
Mhm.
since my character is tiny, I was wondering if I could stealth with my initiative.
No, because you wouldn't have the opportunity, as they saw you, and because they are an Inquisitor, they knew exactly what the hell you were. So Ian, you said it was a critical, but what was the total number? Just like
Are we going off of just an initiative roll straight or a perception check?
perception check.
Great. It is a 33.
33,
Same.
perfect.
Also, same.
Oh, man.
This is weird.
Stacking up front.
Yeah, 33 as well here.
All right. Well,
What?
obviously Ian is going first. I will probably regret this. Yeah, I'm gonna regret this. Okay. Cool. So Ian's going first. What is y'all had 33. What's your dex modifier, Makai?
+4.
4. What's your dex modifier, Sam?
+2.
What's your dex modifier, Michael?
Let me check. 4.
4. Okay. What's your charisma modifier, Michael?
5.
Yeah, that's what I thought. What's your charisma modifier, Makai?
A charisma mod 3.
3. Okay, there we go. We found a tiebreaker. Okay, cool. And Sam. Okay, cool. So the Inquisitor is going to go first in this combat
Ooh.
round. Yeah. Hate me all you want. It feeds me. Actually, no, I'm a soft boy. Love me. Anyway, so with one action, he kind of lets go of the amulet. You see, he grabs what looks like a piece of like a long furled piece of paper, slams it on the ground in front of him. You see a bunch of religious runes starting to pop off from the ground as a circle wraps around him. As he does that, he holds his longsword high, or his bastard sword high in the air, and it starts to glow. And the last thing he does, he kind of does this gesture to both of you, and it's almost like he's thinking and goes, "Yeah, that's what I thought." Takes out a little piece of paper, rips it off a piece, and you start seeing silver and a bunch of other things traced on his blade. And that's his full turn, as he has activated Sanctuary, he has activated Esoteric Antithesis, and a Smite against all of you.
That's an impressive list of things to be able to do.
I understood one of those.
It was a lot. And I might be wrong on the turn action, but we'll just keep moving through that. Next up is Ian, first off, from all of you.
I am. Do we? Okay. As vampires, how do we take damage?
So glad you asked. So you have a weakness to silver, which has already been factored in, as well as good type damage, which I will be factoring in as well with the boss fight you're having, and sunlight damage, which I hope we don't have to do, but if we do, I will use those sunlight rules when we get there.
Right.
Everything else is just a good old-fashioned combat.
Okay. Well, I think to start off, let me make sure I can use this. I would like to. So first off, Roderick just kind of like reaches back into the saddlebags and grabs a bunch of those papers with a bunch of numbers and G's on it, like throws them down on the ground in front of him, just like he did, and then immediately tries to dispel Sanctuary. Just
Awesome.
like he's like, and arm brought forward is where he reaches too far back and then comes back to try to use the actual spell.
All right. So you are attempting to do a dispel.
Dispel,
action.
yes.
Right. Let me look up how. Well, let me look up.
So I can
roll
use
for
it against magic items.
Mm-hmm.
And it becomes mundane for 10 minutes.
Oh, okay.
If the target is an artifact or similar item, it's non-magical properties. If the target is an artifact or similar item, you automatically fail. So I'm trying to figure out whatever he's using, like the paper.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, not the sanctuary. The whatever paper he's trying to use. I'm trying to.
Yes, I'm gonna need because if you're gonna use a spell magic, I'm gonna need a counteract check. So when attempting a counteract check, add the relevant skill modifier or the appropriate modifier to check against the target's DC. So basically, it's gonna be you casting the spell,
Right.
and that for you is based off arcane or is it occult?
It would be occult.
Okay, then I want you to make an occult check with this spell to effectively dispel the sanctuary spell.
Okay.
The DC is pretty high.
Ooh. Let's see. Want to make sure I get this right.
Did you
Where
use
is
your
my
20
modifier?
yet?
I haven't used them. I could use my 20 to start off with. Yeah, you know what? I'm actually going to use my nat 20 on this check against this piece of paper.
All right, perfect. That's actually what you would have to do to spell this thing. So yeah, you dispel the sanctuary critically. You see the lines just break away and the religious runes kind of flitter about. The sanctuary is broken, and you can see Silverman kind of swears under his breath.
Have at thee. So just as Roderick just like leans too far back and catches himself.
And the Inquisitor is quite confused. He also looks at the ground and goes, "Why did you just throw money at my feet?" Next up, Michael.
All right. First, I'm going to use my thaumaturge ability of find flaws.
All right. So go ahead and make the roll.
All right. Actually, I just already did while we were waiting for Ian for sake of speed.
Mhm.
Let's see, and I add what recall knowledge do I add for this?
Well, he's a human, so I guess the closest he could go is nature.
I was gonna say since he's an inquisitor, can I use religion?
Yeah, absolutely, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a 37.
All right, 37. You definitely it's not a critical, but it is a success, which means your esoteric antithesis will be a free action. You learn that there is no weakness to this person, so you get to invent one for, I want to say, 2 plus half character level.
Okay. Okay. You know what? I'm going to Rufa route.
All right.
Fire!
You're gonna burn him. Okay. So what are you doing?
Burn the witch! Hunter.
No, that's my job. Yeah, okay.
Let's see. Esoteric antithesis is they have a fire weakness of 2 plus half my level or higher.
Okay.
So that's
cool.
I guess 7.
Yep.
And I am also going to use for my second action, I believe, I am going to use that curse ability, that curse thing.
Okay. The curse of death. Now I have to make a save, right?
Let's see here. Yes, you have to make a fortitude save.
Okay. All right. What is the DC to beat?
Saving throw. It just says saving throw fortitude. See. Target must attempt a fortitude save regardless of the vault the target is. It doesn't say.
Okay. Well, it's because it's based off you. What is your class DC?
Oh, class DC. Okay. Let's see here. It's 31.
31. Okay. Well, his bonus is pretty good. And let's see, that means with the critical success, it's a 40.
Oh.
Oh.
So unfortunately, you put the curse of death on him. And as you start to like utter these foul words and try to reach out and strike him, I believe the critical effect is no effect. Please refresh me if I'm wrong.
Let's see here. Critical success. It's
Unaffected.
the target is
yeah.
unaffected. Yeah.
Yeah. So you do that, and they just go, no, buy the platinum hammer. No, get that out of here.
Caesar goes, curses, curse, and last action. You know what? It's gonna fire use his wand to fire some fire.
Okay. Roll to hit.
Basic reflex save versus my class DC.
Okay. What's the class TC?
31.
31. Okay. His reflex save total is is that right? Yeah, it's a 31 actually. Huh. Yeah, so he saves. Doesn't critically save, but he saves. What's the effect?
The effect is I just roll 5d4 plus charisma plus 4.
All right,
Fire
and
damage.
he takes half of that.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
Let's see. But it is his weakness though. There's a 7
is.
weakness on fire.
Yes. So effectively speaking, he will take the 7 bonus damage on top of everything else, which is awesome. I love thaumaturges in the playtest because they just create free damage. It's so good.
So 4, wait, 4.
All right, I'll tell you while you're doing that math really fast. Makai, what are you doing as this little flick of fiery flame hits the Inquisitor, much to his chagrin?
19 damage, fire.
19, got it.
I've been reading over this. I'm just trying to double check. Is throwing a bomb just like a regular action, or because that's what it's looking like? All right, dope. And then it looks like if I'm reading these little like symbols correctly, the one that's colored in is like a free action, or it takes an action.
If it's empty and hollow, it's a free action. If it's colored in, it takes an action.
Damn. All right. Let me just double check this and then that. Okay. All right. Dope. Dope. All right. Then yeah, I'm going to pour this. I'm going to take out a. Potion, and as soon as I pop the cork, it immediately the red liquid inside immediately starts to boil and froth. And I'm going to take out a second green potion and pour this viscous liquid over it as I make it a sticky bomb. I'm going to lob it at this man as I throw in an alchemist fire.
Now, I should say the fire weakness that was given only applies to Thaumaturge, not you, but you will still hurt the guy. Absolutely. That's a roll to
through it.
That's okay. Roll to hit.
All right, dope. That's a natural.
It's a natural 20. I love y'all's dice. I swear to God. All right. Double the damage, double the dice, double the bonus damage, double everything.
Then can I throw a second bomb after that since I have 3 actions?
Absolutely. You can still keep attacking.
Get him
this
good.
guy. You have 3 actions. You just used 1.
I was gonna throw 3 bombs. I was gonna keep it simple for you. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get those other 2.
Okay. If it's I forgot if bombs are agile or finesse or not. But if it is finesse, then it's a -4 instead of a -5.
Okay, no. -4. All right, that's going to be a 34.
34. A 34 will hit the Inquisitor.
Dankus. And then what was the last one? It's a minus what?
If it's a finesse weapon, it'll be -8. If it's not, it'll be -10. Let's say it's -8 until I can figure that out.
That's gonna be 20. What's 31 minus 8? That's 22, right? That's math, right?
What was it? How much -8?
No, 23. 23.
Yeah, 23 will miss, but you got 2 bombs. And the first one was a crit. So I want you to roll the critical damage first and then roll the second one after that.
And then let me double check. All right, so with sticky bomb, this This is the wrong bomb. Okay, so with Sticky Bomb, this he's going to take 3d8 fire damage, plus 3 persistent fire damage, plus 3 splash fire damage. With my directional bomber, that splash damage is only going to go towards him.
Okay.
But yeah, so and then with Sticky Bomb, that 3 persistent damage is going to be up to 5 as it gives +2 persistent.
Okay, so you said 2 persistent on the second bomb?
5 persistent total.
Okay, okay. If they are the same type of damage, so they're both fire, the highest one will take precedent. But if you have like 3 fire and like 2 acid, then they will both proc. Is it? Remind me.
No, it's so Sticky Bomb just adds 2 persistent damage. It's
okay.
Just 5 total of persistent damage. Persistent fire damage, but still.
That is nasty. I will accept that. So give me the double damage on the first one. So the double the dice that it's supposed to be, and then obviously double the modifiers to the damage, and then we'll go to the second bomb. You do an alchemist fire moderate. No, you said 3d8, so it's greater. Got it. Okay, cool. So that would. Oh, if you're doing the greater one, that's gonna be 68.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, roll 68.
And then do I add my dex mod?
No, but unless you have certain feats, and there might be a bonus, but you will definitely get weapon specialization. I'll give you a bonus 4 for that. So let's do the 68 plus 4.
68 plus 4. Oof, that is going to be 36 points of damage.
God, okay, 36 points of damage. Oh, I'm nervous. Okay.
6 points of fire damage.
Yeah. And what's your second bomb? Oh, that hurts to say out loud.
And it's still would it be 3d6 plus 4 or just 3d6 plus 2?
This would be 38 plus 2.
3d8 plus 2.
Mm-hmm.
All right, this is only going to be 20 damage.
Still using 56 damage that round, my dude. All right, Sam, bottom of the round. What are you going to do?
So Yulia is going to and start climbing the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's where she keeps her sword. It's on like a mounted, like nicely lacquered wood frame. So she's gonna yank it off the wall while she's on the wall. And then from the wall, she's going to make an attack because she has the combat climber feat.
I love it. Okay.
With the bastard sword.
Roll the hit. Roll the hit from the wall.
Okay. 30.
That will hit.
Okay. A D8 plus 6. Alrighty, that is. Oh wait, what did you say on here? Well, really quick. Did you say my damage was 14 plus? Oh, I haven't raged yet. That's why.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna do that one. That's 9 points of damage.
Okay.
And then she's drunk, so she forgot to rage. She's like, hey, I don't like this.
She's like a happy drunk.
And then she's going to rage.
Okay. I love it. You land on the guy, you do damage, and then you rage. I love it.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have any other actions you can do? I think there's one to climb, one to get the sword, and one to drop on him. He's definitely not looking good. He's almost bloodied as you descend from the wall and make a huge cut into him. He as he's wounded, he reaches in, pulls out another piece of paper, slaps it on his chest, and the piece of paper seems to kind of like turn into these holy little like glitter speckles, and he will heal himself for let's see, 6 and 7 is 13. 13 plus 13 plus. Okay.
He's a
All right.
nerd.
He's the. Did you say the nerve or the nerd?
He is a nerd. He's using papers to heal himself.
He's looking much better, but he's also looking a little nervous because he's realized that's the only thing he had keeping him from dying. As he then turns to you, and then takes his sword and swings at you. Let's see here. What is your AC at this point in time?
24.
Okay. All right, that's a crit. So I need one more. Oh god, that's gonna hurt so bad.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
So which one of you played the healer vampire?
I
Actually,
Oh yeah.
kinda. It depends. Vampires are classified as undead, correct?
Yes, they are, and they would be needing negative healing. So harm would heal you guys.
Sorcerers are actually pretty good at doing that.
Nice.
So we would need negative damage to heal us.
Yep. And so
Okay.
the harm spell works.
So
I have this chalice.
So I'm really very sorry because if I'm doing my math right, he crits on you and does 76 damage as this blade that is holy and built to be against your weakness just does 76 damage right through you. The good thing is that that's the end of his turn. He has healed himself quite a substantial amount and dropped about 76 HP on you. And he takes 5 from the persistent splash damage. Okay. So that being said, next up is Ian. What are you gonna do to Inquisitor?
Okay. I'm actually going to cast Dull Ambition, and I need a will save from him.
Okay.
And I believe that just goes against my class DC, correct?
Basically your class or spell DC. I think as
Right.
a sorcerer they should be about the same. So what is the DC to beat?
The DC to beat for my class is a 29.
29. Okay. So he got a 40. And it's a 29.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he critically succeeds that by the 10 of 10.
Good to know. That's why we do the lower level spells. Let's see, that was 2 actions. I'm going to use I'm going to use my single action to draw my coat pistol
Okay.
and shoot him. If the magic
brigand!
doesn't work. Yes. You brigand. Fires off this shot. Why not?
All right. If that is a finesse weapon, -4. And Sam, I was wrong. You didn't take 76 damage. You took 88 damage. So sad. I
That's
didn't mean to get that wrong.
more. That's more damage.
Okay,
Feels
minus
like it.
-4. My addition becomes a +12 on top of a nat 20. That makes it a 32 to hit.
Yes, it does.
So
Give me that crit damage, my dude.
my little coat pistol is doing so much damage. That's 7 damage, but on a critical hit, the weapon's damage die increases. And the weapon adds 1 additional damage die of the listed size. So I should have increased to a D6. So it's actually 2D6. Sorry.
Okay.
3 plus 5 is 8 plus the additional 8, 9, 10, 11. So that's 22 damage from a coat pistol.
Nice. Hold on a second. I got this quick math. Okay. So yeah, you pull your coat pistol. the pop and crack of this weapon kind of echoes in your foyer as you see this beautiful little gut shot happen in the back. You can see his coattail kind of whip up. He's just kind of gripping his stomach as you put him back to bloody. Actually,
And Roderick says, "You will fill the ditch in our front yard to make the Queen Kimberly happy."
the Queen Kimberly. I love it. All right, Michael, your turn.
All right. Really quick, do I have to do find flaws again to get all that bonus stuff?
Yes,
Okay.
indeed, you do.
That is what I'm gonna do. Find
Yeah.
flaws. Okay. Plus religion. Let's see. That is a 35.
Not a crit success, but still a success, which means esoteric antithesis is a free action. What's your other two actions?
Let's see. Which is gonna be, I'm gonna choose once again, fire.
All right. All the damage will be +7. Roll to hit with that. Are you using the magic flicker?
The wand, yeah. But before I do that, actually, see, I got 2 actions left. That's 1 action to use the wand, right? Or is that 2 actions?
Oh, let me
Just
check
1
on that.
action.
I think it's 1 action. But in the meantime, what's your other action?
If I have another action, I'm gonna actually have Stuart. I'm gonna send Stuart kind of like tackle him.
Okay. Go ahead and make an athletics check against his fortitude DC. Make the athletics check. I'll tell you if you're successful or not.
Actually, it'll be let's see. Yeah, it will actually be a command. Actually, wait, no. Yeah.
Ooh, pause. Time out. Fling magic is 2 actions, so it would be
okay.
Yeah, one or the other.
Okay, never mind. Then I'll just use fling magic then.
All right. Roll some pain for me. Roll to hit.
All right. Actually, no, you have to roll. Basic reflex versus my class DC.
Yay. What's the DC again?
31.
31. Oh my god, he missed by 1 point.
Yes.
He failed.
Yes. All right. Let's see. 3 and 4. Okay, that is a. A second. I'm adding numbers. There's lots of numbers I need to add, which is actually really good because there's also something else that happens. Okay, first off, that's 21 fire damage, which is weak to. And then on top of that, because he actually failed his roll, there is a secondary effect with the wand fire damage, which is, let's see, where is it? The target catches on fire, taking 1d10 persistent fire damage.
Okay. Roll that for me right now. This may supersede the other persistent fire damage.
All right, that is a 7.
Whoa.
Ooh. If he survives, I think the end of his next turn, he's taking 7 of that. That's okay. That's gnarly. All right. Yeah, he is not looking good. Next up is Makai. Makai, what you gonna do?
I'm going to pull out a similar flask, but instead of containing an angry red liquid, it's going to contain an angry green liquid. Only this time it's already boiling before I even take off the flask or uncork it. I'm going to take out that same brown viscous liquid. Hope you like my folly. And I'm going to lob it at him. Let me just check something real quick. And necrotic damage heals us, correct?
You all, yes.
Okay, cool.
Negative damage, yeah.
Dope. And I just want to make sure I did it right. All right, he's going to take, is a 31 hit?
31 does hit, yes.
Dope. And
as soon as the bomb hits the Inquisitor, Roderick yells, "Grimald, now!" in his drunken state.
And so if I'm attacking the same target, if I'm attacking a different target, do I still get that same -4?
Yeah, for taking multiple attacks in a round, you're gonna get penalties, regardless of who you attack.
All right, cool. Hey, Yulia. Does a 30 hit you?
Yes.
Dope. All right, cool.
Okay. So
Perfect.
I think you're rolling to hit the Inquisitor, and I suspect that you're rolling to heal Yulia. Is
Yep,
that correct?
That's a good idea.
I have a
Yeah.
necrotic bomb.
Oh, I see.
Nice. All right. Give me the damage of the first bomb that definitely hits the Inquisitor, and then give me the amount that Yulia is healed by.
So this first one is going to be an acid flask.
Ooh, all right.
So this is going to be 3d6 of persistent acid damage, as well as 3 acid splash damage.
Isn't that what Roderick took earlier?
Oh my god.
I love this game.
All right, roll for me the 3d6 acid damage. That's what he's gonna take. God, 3d6 persistent acid damage.
And I don't add any no mods to this because it's just
You know what? I'm gonna be dumb to myself and say add 2.
yeah.
Add 2 to it.
Yeah. Thank
I'm
you,
gonna regret
PJ.
that. Whenever I say I'm gonna regret that, I always do.
This is not the first campaign I played with you, PJ.
Let's go to
Yes.
16 persistent acid damage.
God damn.
Ooh.
That's 23 total persistent damage on his next turn. He's gonna take 23 damage.
Plus a double 7.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's already. In fact, well, you took that anyway. So, how much are you healing Yulia for that negative damage?
3d6 negative. So it's going to be 3d6 negative and then another 3 negative splash damage.
Oh no, he might get caught by that because he's in melee range. Okay.
Oh, they are.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
All right, dope. So this is going to be you're going to take back 18 health.
As soon as the bomb hits Yulia, Roderick yells from the back, "The inspector, you fool!"
I'm a professional, I know what I'm doing.
Yulia is like, well, actually, that feels good.
you hear Jeremy go, I'm sorry, I thought it was Inspector, it was Inquisitor. No one told me to read.
I thought we
Jeremy,
gave you hooked
go
on
get
comics.
cleaning supplies.
And I'm gonna try and hit him with my very last bomb.
All right, this will be out of -8. Go
Minus
ahead
8.
and roll to hit.
I did find out playing a sorcerer, you get I made the sorcerer and I got a stupid amount of focus spell points. I have 5. So I'm just like scramble everything. Just I have this one magic power. That's it.
Oh my god. So what's the to hit on that bomb throw? 30 to hit with a -8. Okay, that'll hit.
It's a
him
natural
good.
20, PJ.
I didn't see the 20. All right.
That's a
Double.
10 plus 20, baby.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah, that's what it would be.
Good night.
Okay. So double the dice and then add 4 to the end of it. That's gonna hurt my soul.
Yeah.
Sorry, PJ. I mean,
It's
I'm not,
okay.
but sorry.
It's
It's
going
okay.
to hurt your Inquisitor.
Yes.
And this one's just going to be another alchemist fire.
Okay.
So
that's gonna be
3D or 68.
68 plus 4. Yeah. Oh, it hurts to say out loud.
That's going to be 34 damage.
34 damage. Okay. He takes another 34 damage and
Plus 3 fire splash damage.
okay.
And then
This-
I don't think the 3 persistent damage carries to this one because it's
yeah.
already being overshadowed.
He's dying.
So yeah,
He's dying.
he's looking pretty bad, y'all. Everyone that's near him, which I believe is Sam and maybe Ian, take like 3 fire damage, but from the splash, pittance. That being said, Sam, it's your turn. Smashy time.
So, quick question.
Mhm.
What does my ring pop do?
It gives you really good luck and really bad luck in equal measure. Do you want to use that for one interact action?
Is that like a reroll, or is it like a who knows kind of thing?
if you want to use this in combat, what I'll say is that this basically acts as like a true strike, but your next attack will be at a disadvantage, for lack of a better word.
Okay. I have my sword and I go and I lick my ring. Yum. And I go in for an attack.
Oh, really fast. Did you activate your rage? I don't know if you said that or not.
Yes, I did at the end of my last turn.
Thank you. Okay. Right. Roll to hit.
Cool. Okay. What's the mechanical effect of like true strike?
Basically you roll 2d20s and take the higher of the two.
Cool. I'm happy about that. I'm sad about that. It wasn't great, but that's okay. Let's see. That is a 27.
27 will miss by 1 point. Oh.
She's still very drunk. She's like, eh.
I throw out my +1 bomb.
Now, is that so? You rolled 2, and the highest of the 2 gave you the 27, right?
Yeah.
All right. So you have another action that you can take to attack, but you have to roll 2 dice and take the lower of the 2. Do you want to
Let's
attempt
do
that?
it.
All right.
Let's
This will
do
be
it.
at also be at a -5.
Ride the
so-
dragon.
20s, here we go.
It does not do this because what I got was very low, but we're going to add it together anyway. -5
Mhm.
and 19.
19 will 1 point away from a critical miss, but you miss.
So she's like raging, like brings a whole new meaning to raging drunk. She's just so was activating the ring in action.
Yeah, 1 interact
Okay.
action to lick it.
And she's just going to just yell at him, "Get out of here with you and your beautiful mane."
And to which he goes, thank you. No, avast ye monster. Of course you will flatter me. I shall not be weak to accept your very thoughtful compliments.
Oh, she's right, your line. It is very beautiful and luscious.
Thank you. It is so you missed 2 times, unfortunately. It is the Inquisitor's turn. He will 1 second while this loads so I can get the bit of it. But he's not gonna look good at the end of this. He takes out a piece of paper and he you know what? I'm gonna use his other scroll spell. Yeah. Yeah, I want everyone to make a will save.
Ooh, okay. I don't like that.
Pretty good at those.
Oh, hero point. Okay.
37.
You said 27?
37.
Okay, 37.
30. Well,
37, 30.
26.
What was that? 26?
26.
26. And what was yours, Ian?
I got a 33.
33. Okay, so Ian, the 33, you save. What was yours again, Michael? I think you said
37.
37. You also save. The other two, Makai and Sam, you don't save. This is basically an effect that will be affecting everyone. Normally only affects 1 creature, but this scroll of special will be affecting the entire room. You've all been hit with Outcast's Curse. For those who fail, so let me read this. For those who succeeded, for 10 minutes, the target must roll twice and use the worst result whenever attempting to make a deception, diplomacy, intimidation, or performance check. And the creatures they encounter have an initial attitude toward them as 1 step worse. They hate you. Now, for the 2 that did not succeed, this 10-minute effect of having disadvantage on deceptions, diplomacies, intimidations, and performance checks is permanent.
Oh.
Now, you can get this permanent outcast curse removed by being blessed by a holy priest.
Well, looks
All
like
right,
I'm
I was unlikable already.
So that's 2 actions for that. Worth it. You're all permanently disadvantaged on all social checks. With the last action you'll probably have, he's going to swing at Sam's character one more time. And I rolled garbage. Let's see if it actually hits. What's your AC, Sam?
Wait, the acid didn't affect any of his scrolls?
No, it just affects his body. He doesn't
Ooh.
like it.
AC is 24.
24. Okay, it's not a critical hit, but it's still a hit, which means you will be taking full damage. Oh my god. Okay, so that is 50 damage. 50 damage as he smites you with the silver blade, of which he is empowering with his esoteric antithesis as well. So he
It
hits you,
hurts.
and then he goes, "That's right, you monster! You, oh, you dreadful thing! I hope I can kill you. You're quite tragic." That's the end of his round. He takes 23 damage. 1 second here. He looks so close to death. Ian, what are you gonna do?
I actually want him to. Yulia's like actually pretty close to him still, right?
Yes, she is within melee range, so she's like 5 feet away from him.
Okay. I actually want him to make another will save. Why not?
Okay. It's pretty bad. What's the DC again?
The DC overall is going to be a 29.
Okay. He actually passes by 3 points.
Ooh, okay. And that would be just a success, not a critical success, right?
Yes, that's correct.
So the success, it's dull ambition. For 1 hour, the target rolls twice and uses the lower result on initiative rolls.
Okay.
Damn.
Okay.
If he ends up failing it, he actually takes negatives to like everything else he does to attack us. But I can also use a quick shot of my harm spell. So I'm going to try to see if I can get a touch for the harm spell on him.
Okay.
Let's see, touch attack. See. Does a 21 hit?
A 21 will miss.
Okay. Reginald is kind of like he casts the first spell, and in doing so, when like he puts his arm too far forward, he ends up like stumbling towards him, and it looks, you can't tell if he's trying to like catch a spell or just cast a spell or just catch his balance. And he like tries to reach out in the Inquisitor and completely like whiffs it and ends up like stumbling into like a table next to him.
He uses his sword and deflects it. He goes, "I say, dear man, have some decorum. We're
I
fighting."
say. Roderick just kind of like stumbles into this table.
Oh, I love
Can't
it.
believe all these drunk vampires are totally kicking this guy's ass.
Yeah. Just
Bombing him to oblivion,
kicking his punk ass.
just
Michael,
lighting him up in the door frame.
really, really, he hasn't even made it like beyond the door into the foyer. He's still like there at the greeting spot going, Michael, you might be able to put him away. What do you got for me?
All right. First action I'm going to use is actually the Cavalier's Charge. It's 2 actions. I get a strike twice, and any point during this movement, I can strike 1 enemy within reach or the first range increment of a ranged weapon. So I'm going to Caesar's going to go hip hip yip to the Capopera and charge towards the Inquisitor. And then as soon as he gets there, since it doesn't say 1 action or 2 actions, it says strike, can I use my whatchamacallit?
No, you so the way it works is you move twice and you attack with a melee object 1 time.
It says I can use range, or a range weapon.
It says strike. Well, melee range or melee physical
within the
like-
first range increment of a ranged weapon.
Yeah, so if it's like a sword, it can be that, or if it's like a bow and arrow, it won't be your wand. Your wand will
Okay.
not be available to use for this.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna still do that, and then command Stewart to like hit him, which actually I have. It does cost only 1 action.
Perfect.
So let's see here.
What you got for me, dude?
See, let me add. That is plus. Let's see, where is it? 33.
You were 3 points away from a dirty crit, but that's still a hit. Give me damage.
All right. Not gonna be super amount of damage, but it's gonna be something.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, where is it? Okay. That is 16 magical damage.
Okay. All right. So it was 2 actions to move and strike. You have 1 more action left. What are you gonna do?
Sadly, I cannot do what I really want to do. So let's just say that Seiza's going to order Stewart to attack again.
All
And
right.
that's going to take a one, I guess, a -4, right?
If it's a finesse weapon, yeah. If it's not, it'd be -5.
Oh, -5. Okay. It is an agile, so headbutt's agile.
I think it's it's agile. Agile is one that gives you a
So
-4. Sorry.
capybaras are finesse weapons.
Yeah, at
Good.
least their headbutts are.
Good. Good to know.
All right.
Add that to the stat block.
So minus how many?
-4 for what you said the trait was.
Okay, that would be a 30.
That will hit.
All right.
Is this capybara about to kill the Inquisitor?
We'll see. We'll see. I have to have the damage. I'll have to have the damage first.
That is 17.
Okay. So as Stewart charges basically right through him, turns about face, and Michael, tell me the tale of how Stewart the capybara slaughters the Inquisitor of the silver of the platinum hammer.
Yes.
You know what? I
Yes.
rarely
Yes.
ever get the kill shot, and technically I still have it. It's my mount. All right,
Hey,
Stewart,
keep going.
Stewart the capybara, like a locomotive, like an
Mhm.
absolute unit, football
Mhm.
tackles the Inquisitor. Let's say it knocks him right off the floor,
Mhm.
and then Caesar looks back and just gives kind of a nasty smile, and then you can almost hear kind of the sound of a truck backing up. Slowly, the capybara walls back, kind of lifts its rear, and just slams its butt down on top of the Inquisitor's skull. You just hear a crunch, and then
Mhm.
a loud vroom fart.
And then
So-
just a slow.
So as you kill the Inquisitor by Stinkface, Capybara Stinkface, you see one more piece of paper start to glow, this ghostly fiery glow. And slowly as the ghostly fire gets a little brighter and rages more and more, you see moving out of the corpse of this freshly crushed cadaver, you see the ghost of the Inquisitor starting to rise up and looking very confused around the place. You see the ghost run for the door.
Oh no.
I say I can't leave. I can't seem to leave this location.
Don't tell me.
No, by the great dragon, I'm trapped here. Congratulations, your house is now haunted by the ghost of
No!
Inquisitor Silvermane. Your house
Is
is
it
now
too late to
haunted.
turn his body?
It's
Just
crowded
yells out,
enough.
"Death by Stewart!"
Is it too late to PJ?
Yes.
Is it
Mhm.
too late to turn his body?
Ooh, I could actually raise it.
He's dead.
You could absolutely.
I don't need a
raise-
soul.
I could resurrect him. I have a ritual.
You could.
We'll just have his zombie and the ghost.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Okay, if you want to raise the dead body without a head.
Absolutely.
All right, cast
I
a
want to
spell
use
for me.
I want to use my 3rd level spell. And I want to do it, and I want to cast Bind Undead. Let's see. I'm allowed to use it once a day. Oh. Yeah, we're fine. It just happens. Because I'm only allowed to use it once a day. It gains the minion trait, and if you are an ally uses any hostile actions against the target, the spell ends.
So,
But for the next day, I've got him as a friend.
so you see, you know what? If everyone gives me an occult, arcana, or religion check, I may put some spice on that.
All right.
Ooh.
I'm pretty good at these.
Cult, Arcana, or Religion.
Hey, PJ.
Mm-hmm.
So my modifier is a
Mhm.
16.
Oh, damn. Okay.
I got a 36.
Woo!
You know what that means?
That means you got a nat 20.
Yeah, it is, buddy.
Nice.
Jesus Christ. I gotta make it now a story note for EOL when we get back.
Oh, I got a 32 on my occultism roll.
Nice. Okay.
While you're raising the body, Yulia is just like, I'm not sharing my room.
Love it.
You can
And
see-
you just see
in
Stuart
closets.
kind of just blinks once, then blinks the other eye, and then lick the other eye.
All right. Yeah.
Is this thing raised?
This
Do
thing
we
is
have
not.
it?
This thing is not just raised. This thing is now a permanent, leveled minion. You now have the Headless Inquisitor's body, the level 13 Headless Inquisitor's body as a permanent minion bound to you all and this house.
And his ghost.
And
sitting there in the
his
corner.
ghost.
Can we rename
And
him
his ghost.
Jeremy too?
I mean, the ghost is like, listen. If you're gonna name that body anything, you name it Inquisitor. I am the great Inquisitor Devrain Tiberian Silvermane. Please do my meaty corpse. Oh Lord, what is he doing? What is he doing?
Inspector, water the
Jeremy.
front lawn and fill the pit.
You see this headless body just weakened at Bernie's all over the place. It takes the order. It salutes nothing as its hand goes over its empty neck, and then it turns around, grabs a shovel, and just starts heading out to the front lawn. While the ghost just goes, no, oh dear Lord, have some grace. Why are you so flimsy? I'm so mad right now. And the ghost just vanishes. So I'm just going to put a ribbon on this and say, in the morning, the brain scrambled landlord takes the 93 pieces of copper and just says you're square. Meanwhile, Lord President for Life, Kimberly Cheryl, says you have an amazing lawn. They don't know how you got it done in one night, but it looks immaculate. It's almost like you just never stopped working for some reason, and it looks great. And they can't wait to invite you out to the HOA mixers.
Oh,
Jeremy,
we have our own mixers.
she's
Fertilizer.
Would you care to come to a mixer at our place?
Why, yes, I would love to come to mixer at y'all's house. I never get to talk to you besides these. And she'll definitely come to your mixer when that happens. Jeremy, of course, is just as lovable and devoted and useless as always. The ghost is very persnickety and the body is whatever. However, eventually the ghost looks at all the papers that are thrown on the ground and he goes, do you not know that Adolphon has been slowly trying to matriculate its coin worth into paper money? All these pieces of scrap paper that you've been using to like board up your windows, that's about 750,000 gold of paper money that you've plastered on your walls.
Oh,
It's not copper.
we've been through this. We need copper. Copper is what we're looking for.
But in copper, do you not understand? You use this aberration.
Roderick just picks up this piece of paper and starts writing on the back of it the next roommate meeting notes. Find more copper.
And that is where we are going to end the dark things we do. Thank you so much for coming to this absolute flustercluck of a Halloween episode. I had a great time. Please, Michael Powell, let's start off our goodbyes with you. Tell them who you are and where we can find you on that sweet, sweet internet.
Well, as As always, I am Michael Powell. You can find me all over the internet on my social medias, which is at Mr. Kapow. That's MrKapao. And or you can also look for me on Facebook at facebook.com/Michael Powell Does Stuff, because I do a lot of stuff like my YouTube channel, which is Fantastic Tales of Adventure, or my new horror channel, Dastardly Tales of Horror. And also, let's see, you can also find me this week, Thursday. We're doing an interview with Jenny Kwan, the voice actress of Suki from Avatar: The Last Airbender, on Toyzilla Network, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Or on Friday, you can also find me on the Johannanon channel here on Twitch for Modern Age, where we play basically Mighty Max, the TTRPG, with yours truly as the Mighty One.
Nice. Oh man, this episode, what the fudge? Sam,
Death by Capybara.
Death by Mother effing Capybara. Sam, please tell me who you are and where we can find you on that sweet, sweet internet.
Well, hello. I'm Sam Sterling, and you can find me all over the internet at Hey Sam Sterling. And I've got my teeth in, so they're still giving me like a weird accent. So we're just going to finish with this, okay? Side note, I really hope, I don't know what we'll be doing in a year, but I hope it's episode 2 of this.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Other than that, no Purgatory Cafe tomorrow, but we'll be back next month. So keep an eye out, because I'm stoked for more Purgatory Cafe. Happy Halloween.
Very much so. Ian, please tell them who you are and where they can find you in that sweet, sweet internet.
Hey guys, my name is Ian. On the internet, you can find me at Bearded Scald on our Discord and Twitter. When I'm not doing anything here with these amazing people, I'm with another amazing person, my fiance, doing Witch and Heathen. Overall, 2 big announcements is that we are going to be at a craft fair this weekend on the 30th at the Anaheim Packing District. If you're in SoCal, please come by and say hi. And the next weekend, the following Sunday, we are going to be at LA Pagan Pride, which is in Long Beach. So go check those out. It is a Sunday. Besides all of that, happy Samhain to all those who celebrate, and happy Halloween to anyone who can get their hands on candy. See you next time.
Makai, please tell us who you are and where we can find you on that sweet, sweet internet.
Hello, greetings and salmonella, my friends. It is I, the great and wonderful Makai. I had a blast playing Grimlock 3 Blood for you tonight. If you were ever looking for me and the things I do, which isn't a lot, you can find me at pretty much anywhere on the internet at WannabeVA. That's WANNABE_VA. But if you want to follow someone who does do something cool, who is in there, doing awesome things every day, always has something new to show you, follow your local artist, either your local artist or any sort of small business you can, because as much as I would like your support, they need it. It's that sweet, sweet lifeblood, that good old ambrosia that gives them their power. And we want them to be as powerful as possible, because guess what? The holiday season's coming up. That's going to let them do even more cool things. So until then, until you can get that done, have a good time and know that you're loved and appreciated.
Very much so. Thank you so much. Hey everyone, my name is PJ McGaw. You can find me all over the internet at pj.mcgaw, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. Come find me, confriend me, and let's have fun. Speaking of which, this episode was a lot of fun. I came in here with only 3 things: get rent, make the HOA happy, and eventually get them to fight the Inquisitor. I had no intention of them robbing a bank.
Summoning a dragon.
Summoning a freaking Duke Boz was kind of planned in case things got off the rail. In fact, I even had this little free hero point to my players if they realized that the Shadowy Umbral Night Council was an abbreviation for sun, and that it was a stupid joke that I made. I would have given a free hero point. So we'll see if the Sun Council.
I knew it was going to be something, but I was trying to think of my own joke, and then the dragon happened, and then
too deep in the role playing of a dumb vampire.
Yeah. I was
freaking
riding the
love it.
dragon at the time.
It was amazing. I love all of you. Thank you so much for coming here and being absolute maniacs with me. And thank you everyone in the chat for being legends and being silly right along with us. Tomorrow night, I'm always bad because it's an East Coast thing. 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I will be joining Ashley the Bard, Sorceress Nee, the Nat 30 and the Blue Collar DM for a D&D 5e game where I'll be playing a paladin himbo. Surprise to no one. So come see me play a paladin in a D&D 5e campaign. Should be going ongoing every Thursday around the same time, about 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And this Friday, super stoked and super honored to be playtesting Emerald Templars with D'Angelo, who is very, very awesome. Sam's done a lot of amazing stuff with this content creator. Hopefully I can actually get the time. I want to say it's 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So 5 to 8 Friday night. Come check that out. I'll be playing a human hunter, master of the hounds, with a bad French accent, and I raised dogs to be emotional support therapy dogs. And also I kill people for money. So you can also see that on Friday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time as well. And hopefully in 2022, I'll have some fun, exciting announcements. Like, for example, next Wednesday, same Nat time, same Nat channel, we're going back live with Edge of Legend, picking up where we left off as Woodward swings the mighty sword towards the neck of Korokos in the city of Agrippa upon the Bear as it bathes in emerald fire. We'll see what the hell actually happens next week. Thank you so much for supporting us these 2 months. We love your support. It lets us continue to build awesome stuff like this show. We love you. We'll see you then. Same Nat time, same Nat channel. Happy Halloween, happy Samhain, and if you suck, happy Saturday and happy Sunday. So until then, have a good one.
Oh, what's Edge of Legend?
Oh, it's this thing that we do every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's no big deal or nothing. It's just kind of like the best thing everyone should be watching right now.
Ask Alona.
Check it out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ask Alona.
Never heard.
I love that you were like, oh, this Alona cosplayer. I'm going to eat them. What?
Who's texting her?
Yeah. Oh, God. I hope Sydney sees this. And
Absolutely.
she's like, I was what? That being said, we're going to be rating the Unexpectables in 3, 2, 1.